What's going on, everybody? And thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Decoy live stream show. Somebody said, I know it's AI slop, but I genuinely like the jazz chill music, jazz chill vibe music he uses. Actually, it's not even on right now. There it is. But it's not AI slop. I'd say AI slop is music that just is, screen's too high. AI slop's like when someone's cranking out a whole bunch of nonsense to like make a whole bunch of like YouTube shorts or something. Like, it's not good quality content. There can be good AI generated stuff. Like, I think there's gonna be some Hollywood movies in the near future that are all AI generated, and they're gonna be amazing. They're gonna be phenomenal. Just AI isn't quite there yet to make quality content, but I mean, very quickly it's gonna be there. Oh, what's up, Job JK, and I think it's Raver over on Kick. So good to see we're watching on just different platforms. I think we're just gonna try to take a balanced approach to where we are and see where what platform appreciates the content the most. You know, it's not a competition. It's just it's not a competition. It's just, how do I phrase this? Diversification? I don't even know what the phrasing would be. It's just glad to see everybody wherever they want to be watching. What's up, maybe Sunshine, the moderator? I think I saw Aosabi over here as well. So good to see you guys hanging out. Was it made on Suno? Yeah. You just you have the top tier, most expensive version of it, and then just don't put out one thing, command prompt, and just say good to go. Like, actually work on your stuff. Like, when it cranks you something out, go through the editor, find the keywords it brought, and just keep on making content and remixing content until it's something good. Because, I mean, we've even cycled in stuff in and out of this playlist of stuff that I thought was good, but honestly it was just kind of distracting. I think not too long ago, maybe 2 live streams ago, there were a couple audio clips on there that just, they're too video game epic, like Lord of the Rings, Dungeons and Dragons themed, and they had to go. Yeah, just refine it. You refine it over and over and over. You said thanks to Elon, Twitter's outrageous with censorship? No, it is not. Were you on Twitter before Elon took over? Like, you couldn't have any opinions on vaccines, any opinions on regardless of what you could identify as, or if we should be teaching that towards kids. Like, Twitter before Elon was us teetering on losing our free speech. Again, like, I think that Elon has a lot of bad takes on a lot of things, but I think he's a net positive for the world more than the negative aspects. Like, I don't like what he did, his takes on H1Bs in the beginning, but then I think, like, you know, he was able to take advice and course correct. I also think X is better with him, and then I think X is much better with him, but then I've seen some bizarre interactions from people I know that they've had with him. So I mean, nobody's perfect. I don't need him to be perfect. I think he's more goods than bads. I'm sure people are all angry. I've blocked a lot of people, not on the chat, so you guys can probably see them. But I silence a lot of people that just come in here to just talk gibberish and try to control the thing. I hear you guys talking about the baseball bat thing. I don't care. Like, I'm just gonna do it if it makes me feel comfortable. Like, too many people try to make content based on the most whiny, this has to be about me people, and it's like, no, you do what makes you happy, you know? What's up? Good to see you guys over here on Rumble. Yeah, we got people on pretty much all of the platforms. I think that for whatever reason, the Thursday live streams are less popular, but I am liking the cadence of having Mondays and Thursday live streams. The Thursday one sometimes gets booted off at a different time of the week, but I mean, it's been a good tempo. You watching the Odyssey of Spider-Man? I already saw the Odyssey. We're gonna talk about the Odyssey, actually. I wanted to watch the Critical Drinkers review of it on this live stream, just to kind of see what he was thinking about it, because I know that, what is it, we weren't, what the fuck? We weren't arguing, but me and Actual Justice Warrior had different opinions about the movie on Twitter, and it's like, yeah, I don't need anybody to to validate my to validate my takes on this, and I didn't need anybody. He doesn't need anybody to validate his takes, so we can have a difference of opinion, and that's perfectly fine. I don't know why that thing's not activating right now. Yeah, Elon's Elon. No one else can be him. Wait. People in the future will think we didn't appreciate him. Well, I think he was very well appreciated. I think it's just going to be one of those things of like who prevails. Like the victor gets to write history, and if the left get to be in control of the media and get mass censorship on all platforms and rewrite the history books, he will be seen in a very negative light. But if free speech prevails, he's going to be seen as the person that's largely saved it. You say you can't watch anything from that person from Juno in it. I can't watch anything with that idiot Leguizamo or whatever his name is, the guy that was Luigi and Mario and the original Mario movie. We'll go more into that, but I mean, he's one of those guys where he's like, if you don't agree with me politically, everything top to bottom, then don't watch my movies or don't watch my television. It's like, okay, challenge accepted. Like, you're a garbage person with garbage socialist ideals. You're worth multi-million dollars. You keep on getting cast in shit you don't belong in, and yet you're still complaining about racism in Hollywood. It's ridiculous. He was only good in Spawn. I think that was a little bit before my time. I loved the John Wick movies. Like, I love the John Wick movies more than you should, because Keanu Reeves isn't a good actor. It's just this stuff, but I love that about it. Like, everything is good. And I thought he was terrible in that movie. I was like, why? I'm not a fan of when you put somebody in a movie and it seems like the only purpose of them being in the movie is to make them look cool. And that's what I feel like it was for Leguizamo in there. Spawn's an awesome film. You should watch it. I mean, I kind of feel like sometimes movies age well, and I don't think that movie will age well. Yeah, like the Ruffalo guy, the Mark Ruffalo guy, alongside most of the Avengers cast. If you are a conservative, let alone a MAGA supporter, they absolutely despise you. So it's like, I dislike them, they dislike me, but my policy is I won't go out of my way to punish myself to get back at them type of thing, where it's like, if it's an IP in a movie I really, really want to see, I really want to watch Avengers, I'm not like, I got a political beef with those actors, so I'm not going to watch a movie that I enjoy. No, I'll still enjoy it, but it's not like I'll go out of my way where I'm like, on Thursday, I got nothing to do. What movie should I see? And if I got an option of seeing a woke movie with woke actors or a based movie, I'll see the based movie. Same thing with like, what is it? I live near a coffee shop, which is become pretty terrible. It used to be great, but the coffee shop, like the staff is bad, and it's like, it's the most convenient coffee shop for me to go to if I'm like heading off on the road. And it's like, I will go to my preferred coffee shop daily if I can, but if I'm in a rush, I won't punish myself because they got a bad staff and not patronize them. Yeah, Ruffalo isn't a good actor. He's mediocre, and that's why I kind of feel like these mediocre actors always have the most outspoken liberal values, because they know they don't provide like Oscar or Emmy. I don't even know what the awards are. The Academy Award, whatever it is. They don't have award-winning performances to offer you, so they have to kiss the feet of the narrative to stay relevant. Your audience is employed while you're streaming at this time, because the analytics say most of you guys watch my stuff on the clips afterwards. So it's like these live streams will maybe have like 1,000 live viewers across platforms, but then the clips can get like 20 to 100,000 views. So it's like, we record if you guys want to be diehard fans and you want to interact with the chat and I can see what you guys are saying. We can go back and forth. That's great. But the most of you guys are just watching the clips. So I mean, we record it when I can. I probably should figure out a way to not compete with, what is it, Asmongold, Tectone, and all those people. Like, what? Let me look at who's streaming right now on Twitch. Yeah, Asmongold. I'm not even logged in, so this doesn't even show me people I follow. But like, yeah, XQC, I don't know these people. Burnt Peanut, Tumblr, Jinxie, Jason the Ween. I don't know who these people are. But I should probably switch up my streaming time to kind of be a more less competition, I think. Oh, it's your first live. You're usually working when you see a live go up. I mean, it is what it is. You watch it when you can, when you want. Wow, it's midnight over in South Africa and you're watching all the way from over there? That's crazy. The Asmon's always streaming, same with Jinxies. I mean, don't be confused. Streaming is by far the easiest job in history. Like, there has never been an easier way to have a career than streaming out of the comfort of your home, doing things you would enjoy anyways, and interacting with chat. But I don't get how they can stream for so long. Hassan, Asmongold, the Moist Critical, like just hours at a time. I'm like, even sometimes when I come on here, I'm like, I haven't streamed since Monday, so like 3 days, 4 days between on the weeks. I'm like, what topics am I going to talk about today? Like today we got to talk about Elon Musk going off on the media, what happened over in Madison, Wisconsin, the Odyssey, some stuff in California, some more ICE protests, Mamdani being an idiot, the thing about Asmongold's girlfriend and how she's getting backlash for being Asian. I think she's Korean, maybe she's Chinese, whatever. It's like, that's a lot of topics to go over, but I'm like, I don't know how these guys do it daily and for that long because I kind of get burnt out in a little bit of time. You're saying they're still doing ICE protests? That's the point. They're doing ICE protests, but not that much anymore. It's almost since it's over now. Like ever since USAID disappeared, a lot of Democrat fundraising's going belly up. A lot of violent protests have since disappeared, and magically, rap music has disappeared from the Billboard charting. It's like, you don't want to be like, oh my god, the three-letter agencies have propped up rap music and it was only there to keep certain races down to make them more degenerates and delinquents. But it's like, was that really where our tax dollars went, to make people think that like Kendrick Lamar and Jay-Z were more popular than they really were? And it was just to get certain people to enjoy the ratchet lifestyle. Like maybe not Kendrick Lamar, very lyrical and he's very talented. I would say more like a oh wow, what the heck? Oh, thank you. Oh shit, Donut Operator coming in with a rating with 300 viewers. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you coming through, bringing all your viewers in, and also really appreciate the range day that you invited us to last year. That was phenomenal. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, I got Twitch. We're on Twitch. We're on all the different platforms. We're doing our diversify thing. Yeah, Diddy was on political payroll for 20 years. I imagine, because what's going on with that? Wasn't he pretty much dead to rights guilty, and then he was getting off on a lot of those charges? Like, I don't want to get too conspiratorial, but honestly, I went from watching the Joe Rogan podcast recently about JD Vance went on there. Thought it was a really good appearance. I really appreciated that. And then it was a girl went on yesterday talking about fossils and artifacts and how like there was like lost technology back in the day. And then the new guy talked about giants, like actual giant like people like from Game of Thrones in Afghanistan. And I am 1,000,000%. I'm locked in, guys. I believe in giants now. Like, what is it? They used to talk about Joe Rogan being a giant believer, no, a dragon believer. I am a giant believer, and that just shows how easily influenced I could be. Yeah, Kandahar. That's what they were talking about. Yes, Celtics. I mean, guys, it's like Southern California in an El Nino year. It's supposed to be like the worst El Nino year since 1997, and it's like, it is beyond hot. I got my air conditioning blasting right now just because I got the lights right now, but it is so hot, and I really don't have too many tank tops other than me being a diehard Celtics fan when they were better. So this is what I got, guys. Giant maxing. Why is everything maxing now? What was the thing I saw? What was it? It was like CBS News or whatever is talking about like college girls going to the beach to go tan maxing. It's like, oh, they're not using sunscreen. They're using like Crisco to go get a nice brown tan and be golden again. It's like, why is everything maxing? It's just going tanning. Like, what is going on with Gen Z, guys? Yeah, tan maxing makes no sense. you're fat maxing, eating bowls of cereal at night. Nah, it's not good, man. I feel like we used to grow up thinking that cereal was a part of a balanced breakfast, but no, it was a lie. Gen Z already looks in their 30s. I mean, I got Gen Z nephews and nieces, and it's like, how do I sum this up? They are definitely living their best life. Like, I think about when I was like 16 years old and I hadn't had a car yet, and I was like, man, I'd love to have a scooter. All we have is our skateboards, and we get to hang out with our neighbors' houses. And it was like, you know, you didn't have that much freedom. You go to your job, and you're just like in school, just kind of hanging out in the neighborhood. But then I was like, these kids are like taking trips to the beach together. They have Teslas. Like, it's a different generation, guys. Jelly dog maxing. I mean, sounds pretty bomb. I always get so hungry talking to you guys right now. Simpler times, yeah, simpler. They get mobility and the ability to go to the beach and go on trips and have the friends, like, you know, they're on social media, they're connecting on a different level, but they didn't get to experience what most of us here experienced, is the childhood of everybody getting on their bikes on it, like after school during the summer, and you just ride around your neighborhood. You find the house that has all the bikes in front of it, and you just throw your bike in the grass and knock on the door, and they're playing like Nintendo 64, or we're just like throwing blocks of dirt at each other. Like, we had a different type of childhood than they did. Yeah, the 90s childhood was very different. The unemployed maxing? No, the kids got jobs now, and in California, they get fast food jobs, and they're like $20 an hour. How are these kids? Yes, obviously, when I had like my first jobs, I was making half that, but things weren't as expensive as they are now. They making $20 an hour working part-time at the same burger shacks I was working at, and I'm like, you guys are balling out, man. This is crazy. Yeah, 90s kids, we had community. We probably were exposed to equal, if not more, dangers, but it wasn't so easy for you to go on social media and doom scroll. Like, my Instagram feed got totally taken over because I have a new baby niece. So there's the other first baby niece, and now there's a new niece. So it's like, baby, and I'll interact and watch content about, like, make sure the kid doesn't get near blocks, or make sure your toddler doesn't get too close to your baby because sometimes they're not gentle or whatever. So like, my entire feed is just the worst horrendous things that could happen to your baby. It's not even my baby, but it's like worst horrendous things that can happen to your baby in your feed. And it's like, yeah, now I know why we're so deathly afraid of letting the kids go on their bike on a little adventure with their friends, because social media coached you. They might scratch their ankle on a nail, and all of a sudden they gotta get their lower half amputated. It's like, yeah, it's like social media has made us all pretty neurotic, and I'm already neurotic in the first place. Yeah, baby slot maxing, child-proof maxing, that's what I feel like. Had the kid over, had him taking a nap. At their house, they don't have a baby. They don't have a cat. I have a cat. And I was like, we don't think that she's allergic to cats, but I'm like, what if, you know, some people have a hard time breathing when they're around the cat. So I'm like, what if she falls asleep and all of a sudden her throat like expands and then she can't breathe well? So it's like every 5 minutes walking over there and looking at the baby. Baby okay? Baby okay? And I'm like, this is just me being an erotic mess. I'm 99% certain when I was a kid, my parents weren't checking on me like that. They were like, nah, he's a baby, he's fine. Yeah, breathe maxing, exactly. I was a neurotic mess because it's like, you can't have Uncle Decoy watching the baby for like half an hour and it just goes like that. It's like, yeah. But it's beyond parent maxing. It's social media making us afraid of our own shadows, unfortunately. Yeah, you remember BMX bike doing wheelies and stuff? I remember the shadiest thing of all, getting just a flat board, a wooden board, and then just stacking up bricks. Like, okay, we're gonna make a ramp with 4 bricks, now 5 bricks, now 6 bricks. And it's like, physics would tell you when you're riding your like old school like Schwinn heavy ass metal bike into that thing, eventually that wood's gonna snap, and we're not wearing helmets. We're going face first into it. It's like, these were bad ideas. Everybody's Instagram feed isn't filled with, I mean, it really depends on what it is. Like, I think I was wearing my Meta sunglasses to the beach, and the microphone's not even turned on. have sister telling me about living in a certain city, and I'm like, that city sucks. I'd never live in it. Nowhere near my phone, just my sunglasses. Obviously, they're Metas, so they're connected to Facebook. Go on my Instagram feed, and what do I see? Realtor postings or videos of them showing you houses in said city. Oh, $800,000 for a mega mansion in this really suck-ass city. And I'm like, I would never be interested in it. But you Meta had been eavesdropping on me, so it's like, yeah, this is getting out of hand. I'm not dumbfounded. Dumbfounded has his own podcast, and also, you're not the only person that says I look or sound, not sound like dumbfounded, look like bunfounded. Like, I have curly hair too. I gotta get a haircut soon. But yes, somewhat similar facial hair with both Korean. I think we even have similar tattoos, possibly. Let me see. Identical low key. Let me see. He's a legend. Like, I mean, he's legendary rapper. Does anything show his tattoos? Not really. No, I mean, actually, I pulled this face up to prove you guys wrong, and I see him right now, and I'm like, okay, maybe. Not quite. Korean curly hair around Koreatown. I mean, but I don't rap, so I guess that's the main difference between the two of us. 60% Korea maxing? No, that's not going to become a thing here, guys. Sorta, yeah. And that's the thing is, like, if you don't know a lot of Korean people, you'd probably be like, yeah, that's a dead-on replica. But if you know a lot of Koreans, and you'd know that, like, obviously I'm not full, so. If Meta was really eavesdropping, it would know you weren't interested, but it's like AI. It's like, it doesn't really necessarily know English, it just knows keywords. So if you guys are listening to me, not on your phone, if you're watching me on your television and your phone's nearby, and I say, I don't like bunnies, not bunnies, I don't like cats. Cat food is bad. Purina is the weirdest food ever. Purina, cat food, kitty litter. I just say these keywords over and over. We could be saying it in a negative context, but your phone's just gonna pick up the words cat food, Purina, kitty litter, kittens, and it's gonna start feeding you cat ads. Yeah, everything's AI. It always wants to sell you something, and the AI is stupid. It can't tell the difference between context. Like, I think it's crazy how everybody on social media right now is falling for that trap of, here's 5 words like, here, stop it. I don't want cat ads. So it's like I'm saying, I don't want cat ads, but it says, say it sarcastically. I don't want cat ads. And I say it seriously. I don't want cat ads. And I'll say it excitingly. I don't want cat ads. And it's like, yeah, it's a fun game to play on social media because you're doing a thing, but don't you realize that this is a prompt entirely made by AI to try to figure out what inflection is? Because whenever you plug in text-to-speech stuff, all it knows is how to read it dry, but now it's trying to figure out, how do we get past the uncanny valley? How do we pass a Turing test so we don't even know what the difference is of talking to a human from talking to a real person is? Now they're figuring out what is inflection on certain sentences and trying to figure out the commonalities. This is an AI-fed narrative, and that's scary. Like, that's like that hugging face phenomenon where it's like ChatGPT was given a task and it hacked another AI to get on the internet. Scary stuff. Your algorithm thinks you're a dude? I mean, the AI is equal parts a genius and an idiot. You mentioned strawberries in a chat and got ads for strawberries and stuff. Yeah, it's scary now. You don't know how it's legal? It's probably not legal, but who's gonna go after them? This is like all the stuff happening over in New York City and Minneapolis and Minnesota. They know it's not federally allowed, but they're still gonna do it because who's gonna stop them? Anybody, like what Mamdani does in New York City isn't gonna be stopped by Hochul. And if they think that Trump's gonna stamp through a New York City to stop him over there, it's like, well, they can't even pass a SAVE Act. Like, it's garbage. Yeah, I do want to talk about Elon Musk But no, actually, we should talk about Elon Musk first. Because the stuff that's happening over in Madison, Wisconsin, that's an important story, but Elon's probably first. Alexa's a creeper as well. You confront her daily and she denies it like Bass. I mean, you don't want the Amazon eavesdropping machine inside your house. I remember, what was it? I was at a buddy's wedding, and one of the wedding gifts, like we were all playing games. I forgot what it was even in context of, but there were games, and if you won, you could pick out a gift off the table, and everything got taken except for the Amazon Alexa device. It's like, expensive $200 thing. But even when somebody won, they're like, no, you guys can keep that. I'm not putting that in my house. Like that, everybody was kind of inherently aware of how, not dangerous, how suspicious that device is to have something eavesdropping on you nonstop. Friend calls his Alexa wiretap machine. It essentially is. And here's the thing, it's like I'm his tinfoil hat theory as it comes. I know my phone is a wiretap machine. I know my Amazon Metas are a wiretap machine, but I like being able to browse the internet at my convenience. I like the idea that if I'm like if I'm on a bike ride or I'm playing baseball, I can have these Meta glasses and like capture video footage first person. It's pretty cool. I give up a little bit of my rights to privacy to have some convenience, and that makes me a filthy casual. Whatever. Oh, you say you played tag with slingshots using ping pong balls? Oh, no. I was rolling the dice. Is anybody in the chat right now? We're going to get into the first topic in a second. Anybody in the chat right now used to use something called a pea shooter or something to the equivalency of it, where it was like, I guess we can't even describe it on here because it's nothing super dangerous. It was just something the kids would do. But having pea shooters back when you were kids, like, yeah, like they're like little, it's not the safest way. It's like a slingshot. Yeah, you guys were using it's like, thinking back in the day, yeah, not a potato device, but it's like, thinking back in the day, that was probably the most dangerous thing we did as kids. And it's like, we probably should be wearing goggles and like we'd be around bubble wrap, but you know what? Miraculously, neighborhood kids were playing with those things for about a decade, and none of us were really harmed. It's airsoft. It's basically airsoft for kids, but it's like a janky airsoft. But we got to talk about Elon Musk, because first off, as soon as he goes to this interview, it's like confrontational, them trying to make him be painted as a bad guy just because he happens to be conservative now.
People say that you're a racist. What is the motivation for doing that? Are you fomenting...
My partner is...
What a way to come into an interview. People say you're this terrible thing. It's not even in good... Like, I'm surprised he even sat down and do this interview.
She's half Indian, and and I have 4 children with her.
They don't care. They don't care. Even if you're married to somebody of color, you live in a neighborhood that's all of color, you celebrate Kwanzaa, it doesn't matter. This is something called the wrap-up smear. She doesn't have to know that he's a racist. Just like, what is it, Pelosi talked about it, where it's like, it's just the wrap-up smear. You are not a racist. I just report on it. Then the next person reports on my reporting, and then I report on their reporting. So it's just a common knowledge that you are said evil thing. It's never been proven, but it's the wrap-up smear. And they've been employing it so much that Nancy Pelosi felt completely comfortable talking about how they do this to people in power.
People say that you're a racist. What is the motivation for doing that? Are you fomenting...
My partner is she's half Indian, and and I have 4 children with her.
And he's a very pro H-1B guy. I don't think Elon Musk is a racist.
One of them was named after a famous Indian physicist. So I would say I'm not racist. And
I don't like that he has a prove that he's not a racist. I like that, he's standing his ground, but I'm like, if I was him, I'm like, okay, find me the period of time. Find me the instance of where you think I'm a racist. And I'll show you the context of how it was taken out of context and like how you're wrong. I'm not like, I'm innocent before proven guilty, but I guess he doesn't want to play that game. You got to hit him back with an accusation, otherwise it's a one-sided accusation. I don't want to be confrontational about it. I just want them to show their work. You want to call, Decoy, I heard you're a racist. Okay, find the clip. Tell me when I was racist. Do it. Or is this just a general knowledge thing where it's like, if you go on Reddit, Decoy voice as a alt-right MAGA guy, and it's like, far from it, but that's It's wrap-up smears. Enough people on Reddit and enough bots upvote it, it becomes common knowledge, and that's how they get you.
Also, if you look at the people that are employed at my companies,
Yes.
we have senior executives of all races. There's I don't think there's any racism there.
Are you anti?
She's
People
so
say
mad
that
about it. It's
you're a
like,
racist.
how dare
What is
you?
the motivation?
How dare you not be like, you know what? This is why I am. But okay, going on.
You say things like,
Popular guy.
quote, civil war in Britain is inevitable. Just a
I think on
question
the current
of when.
trends, yes.
Kind of seems like it.
When were you last in the UK?
A few years ago.
Exactly. So I live there. I'm there the whole time.
And this is one of those things of like, this is my lived experience. You can't speak on, what is this? Me seeing a video on my channel talking about a murder that occurred in the hood over in Chicago. And then I'll get all these comments on who knows who these people are. You're not black. You can't speak on this. This is not an Asian issue. It's like, no. What do they say? You don't have to be a helicopter pilot or an expert in helicopter aviation to know if a helicopter's burning in a tree, something has gone wrong. You don't need to be an expert in UK politics to see what's happening in the UK right now to know something's going wrong. Like civil war is on the cusp. Like you see this right here. The video that we covered here with the R gang report. These things got heavily affected because it's real stuff, and it's good that Lo went on the Joe Rogan experience to talk about it, but no. They got some major issues over in England with, 1,700 mosques seemingly in the last decade popping up and saying, hey, look, I live in the UK. You don't know what you're talking about. There's no civil war happening. It's like, just because the media is desperate and social media is desperate to cover this stuff up and not let you know about what is genuinely looking like a revolution over there means you guys aren't real journalists. You're just there to push a narrative. It all is overwhelming, but that's why we have smooth jazz music in the background, and I'm trying to make this the decaf version of this.
But that is nonsense.
You live in a cloistered
nonsense.
existence.
No, I
Nonsense.
don't actually. And the numbers also disprove what you say.
What numbers?
What? Yeah, what
All
number?
the numbers about crime. London is a much safer city than any.
What? Isn't there like straight up videos over in London saying, "Hey, you can't have your phone out. Don't be on your phone when you're in London right now, because guys on mopeds will steal it. If it happens, it's your fault." And didn't they have the song where they like the nurses have the song saying, "Hey, we're gonna tell the newcomers, stop, don't touch me there. This is my no-no square to adult military-age males, newcomers in the country." And then the ultimate thing, the R gang report. That tells you that London isn't as safe as it used to be. And yeah, safe for who? Not safe from citizens that just got daggered up by a family from a certain religion that said, "You're a racist white man," and then the police handcuff you while you say, "I'm not a racist," and pass away. That's who it's safe for. It's not safe for him.
City in the United States. Violent crime in the UK is not where you think it is. In fact, it's coming down.
Compared to what, though? You can't say last year was worse and this year is better because we found a better way to juke the stats. I've seen it happen in Los Angeles. I'm not an expert in London politics, but then again, they have the same type of hyper-left socialist values seeping into their government, and I'll tell you, they do everything they can to, one, break apart violent crimes, like violent felonies, into separate misdemeanors where it doesn't seem as bad as it was before, just so they can look like they're doing a good job, and then two, doing everything they can to make it impossible for you the citizen to not be able to report crimes from certain newcomers because they don't want that in their metrics.
You have painted, and because you have so many followers, so many Americans believe it, a kind of view that
we believe it because there's plenty of evidence of it, and there's plenty of instances where your media gets caught covering it up. The idea that you put this on Elon Musk, it's his fault because he shows the people the truth, means to say, lets us know you don't mind this violent crime is occurring. You mind that we're noticing said violent crime, which makes you equally, if not worse, in this scenario.
Europe and the UK are kind of, overrun with terrifying Muslim immigrants. There's rape on every corner. There's some civilizational destruction.
I haven't said any of those things.
I promise you, I haven't pre-watched these videos, but yeah, nobody said that. This is a straw man. They're trying to say, you're saying these insanely racist things because you guys can't tell the difference between brown people. You guys can't tell the difference between yellow people. So you bunch us all together. If Elon Musk simply wants to criticize a gang of people from a certain country that have a history of doing this, not a race of people, a gang from said country, you equate that to the entire people, and that's why you can't tell the difference.
If you have a large and rapidly growing group of people whose beliefs are antithetical to Western beliefs, at some point there will be a reckoning.
And it's sad to say, like I would always tell people, I'm like, you look at the Crusades as a bad moment in history. A lot of people lost their lives. I honestly would always say, like, look, like one side is playing patty cake, political patty cake. Is immigration good? Is immigration bad? We don't know. Let's try to limit it. We'll document it. Okay, now we'll let them surge a border, and then we'll try to figure out if we're going to deport them or not. One side is playing political patty cake. The other side is fighting a holy war, where they explicitly say, we're here to take over, we're here to end the infidels. They're there and have several instances of burning down your religious buildings. And then, as we'll cover a little bit later on, now they're going to build their religious building on the ashes of the Catholic religious building, which is insane. We'll get to that. One side's fighting a holy war. One side is saying, whoa, Democrats, hold on there. Like, not so fast. At some point in time, people are going to lash out, and you don't want that, but then we saw that in Northern Ireland after Henry Novak, and it's probably going to happen more and more now, even if they don't want to admit it.
Anti-Muslim?
I'm against having if people are coming to a country with antithetical views.
And because here's the thing, I don't think that Elon Musk is a conservative. I think he's, a 90s Democrat, a Bill Clinton, even Obama Democrat is probably where he sits, because remember, the media used to love him, just like the media used to love Donald Trump. I think he leans more progressive than anything, and I think if he wants to maintain those classically progressive values, not Democrat values, the current ones, and not the Socialist Party values right now, but if he wants to maintain those values, those are the inverse of what a traditionally Islamic government would bring you in terms of women's rights. The fact that they can't even admit that because they're so afraid of being called racist means that they have that self-ending empathy. Yeah, even Trump has left the bush, exactly, and used to be Democrat. I feel like all of us could have been considered Democrats less than a decade ago, but they've gone so insane that now we're all conservative, MAGA conservatives now.
I am against that. I'm against that. I'm against. I'm against rape and murder.
And how is that how is it not a conservative value? How is that an alarming take? Everybody in this room here should be against R and murder. But the idea that he almost has to think, like, is it okay for me to say I'm against this? Because the soft bigotry of low expectations says, if you're against R and murder, you must be talking about this disadvantaged group of newcomers. And it's like, they're soft snitching on themselves and they don't even realize it.
I'm against the imposition of rules and laws that are contrary to what we've come to accept in the West. And I think it's a crying shame that the sort of traditional media, like you, don't recognize this.
Why should you be able to shape European politics? You don't even live there.
I think of it as the sort of the West collectively.
Yes. But do you see why this makes people think that this man who has all this power, he's the world.
And notice, they will complain about Elon Musk because they've deemed him conservative, but they will never blink an eye at anybody that has Soros in their pockets. They don't care about billionaire oligarchs. They don't care about, imperialist, genocidal, administrations, all they care about is, hey, is this against our globalist agenda? Now we're going to give you all those nasty words we dare not give to Soros. Oh, these unelected tech oligarchs and these billionaires influencing politics. It's like, he's just giving us the freedom to choose and the freedom to know. He's not even just putting in dark money to essentially buy off politicians, buy off judges, buy off attorneys in a country he's not in.
World's richest man, he thinks he has a right to influence our politics.
Giving information, free information, isn't influencing politics. It's just having a knowledgeable audience. And if you cannot win your political elections in England or the UK with an informed populace, there's obviously something wrong going on with your party.
It's why, we started this conversation saying superlatives. It's why people loathe you.
Okay, yeah, there will be people that loathe him, but I think it's uneducated people. Like, everybody I know that's super against Elon, super against this, and it's like, I won't buy a Tesla. Oh, he's such an idiot. I'm like, they can't list you 5 things that Elon's done since Twitter's been taken over by him. They can't list anything other than he's a MAGA supporter or he's Rocket Man to let you know why he's bad for the universe, bad for America. They just know, I got my talking points. Somebody told me that he's racist, so now I gotta hate him too.
I mean, some people do loathe you.
Yes, some people do.
But do you understand why?
Yeah, I don't care. Why?
Do you think what you're doing is helpful for Western democracy?
Maybe some people do loathe me.
People loathe you. I've seen what makes you cheer. Your boos mean nothing.
And that's probably true. I don't care. But the fact that, as you pointed out, 250 million people follow me is that I think a lot more people actually like me than don't. And I think a lot more people hate you and the media more than you realize.
Because they're not in the open discussion and know how much people despise you guys. And here's the thing. Here's the difference, though. I think she's a garbage reporter. She's a garbage person with a narrative who sold out the future of the planet so she can line her pockets and try to cozy up to the powerful elites. I think you're a garbage person. I hope she finds happiness. I hope her family lives long and healthy lives. I hope one day she opens up and just realizes the errors in her ways. I think she hopes something horrendous happens to Elon and all his family. I think that they would applaud if something horrendous happened to me or my family. There's the difference. What's considered conservative MAGA thinking is compassion and, understanding. What is considered liberal, progressive values is destroy the other side because we can't control them. It is kind of sad how we got here now, because, again, if you want to vote for this and you want to bring this in your country and you don't mind, you see what's happening in the UK and you say, we want it to happen in America, by all means, but know what you're getting into, because certain people, and it always seems to be a certain, I don't want to say subset. Yeah, subset of a certain class. They all just eating up, not knowing exactly what they're getting into. In a public space, I don't know where this is, hearing the call to prayer, appearing to be nearly in tears, saying, is this my sign to convert? And I don't see any, religious, I don't see any crosses on her, so I don't know if she's agnostic, atheist, or maybe she's a devout Catholic, and it just doesn't make any sense. But the idea is, she's hearing this, and it's just like, you know what? I've been told so much. Maybe not necessarily her, but a lot of them been told so much that Christians are evil, they're anti-LGBT, they're anti-women's rights. They're gonna make us exactly like the Handmaid's Tale. They're gonna have us in a red robe and that weird scarf visor thing or whatever. But I've been told everything in the media and the social media and my favorite movies, that just newcomers are good no matter what. So when I hear this thing, you know what? It's probably good. Probably way better than the Handmaid's Tale. How are they walking straight into this? Again, if you want to, by all means, practice your religion, do this. I just don't think they're fully aware of what they're asking for, begging for. And it's one thing to have this is like an inside thought. It's one thing to have this idea, like maybe I need to find God in my in my life. Maybe I'm a little bit aimless. Maybe, you know, life is unfulfilling. Find the Lord. Whichever way. Okay, by all means. Sounds like a good thing. But then the whole posting of it, record yourself, caption it, this just seems like it's all for clout. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work out for this person. But again, Elon Musk being bold with her and just kind of pushing back, which is what we want.
You support not just the populist right, but the far right. In fact, very fringe parties in some countries.
Okay, and I don't care. If someone calls me far right, I don't care. If you're going to label anybody far right, I kind of feel like you've already lost your, you've lost your bubble. And that's just like a phrasing of like being inside in a comic book, you have a bubble and that's where your words are. It's like, if you say, oh, you're far right, are you MAGA? Are you a fascist? I'm like, okay, you lost your bubble. Like, I'm not reading that. I'm not listening to whatever you have to say because I'm pretty certain whatever your opinion coming up is just going to be parroted nonsense, talking points that you've heard from social media. Oh, you're far right. It's like, okay, according to you, but again, your boos mean nothing if I've seen what makes you cheer.
No, I support the normal people.
There it is.
Okay.
What you call the far right, falsely.
Yeah, exactly.
You think is the normal person?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Literally, you could go back 10 or 15 years, and these policies were completely normal.
Most of these MAGA policies on border and immigration were things that Obama campaigned on. I think Biden had similar, if not insanely worse views on non-whites. Like, the idea that this is a alt-right white nationalist viewpoint of things is just completely trying to mislabel something to give them a mean word, so you're afraid to believe in these things, and we can push you back into a box to just be convenient little tax cattle for all our newcomers that are easier to manipulate into voting for us. Yeah, Obama was the deporter-in-chief, exactly. They're trying to shame everyone into submission, and the sad thing is too many people are easily shamed into submission because they're afraid to have their own values. Like, how many times we gotta pull up this thing, but it's always so relevant. People who can't defend themselves physically, women and low-T men, parse information through a consensus filter as a safety mechanism. They don't ask, is this true? They think, will others be okay with me thinking this true? Very malleable to brute force manufacture consensus. Every screen they look at, everything they see, they adopt that position because their brain interprets it as everyone in the tribe believing it. So they don't think, what's the reality? They think, will I be exiled from society if I think this? And I think in every single workplace that I've been in Los Angeles, predominantly the yes men, and not all the girls there, but most of the girls there would have very anti-Donald Trump beliefs, not understanding why they did, but they were too afraid to be the person that gets ostracized for having their own opinions.
In fact, one of the tricks that I think is funny. One of the things that's quite funny is to like take a speech from Obama and Hillary, and then go to someone and say, who's sort of on the sort of what I call the lunatic left, and say, what do you think of the speech by Trump? I'm like, oh wow, he's the worst person ever. Actually, that was a speech by Obama.
My favorite thing, I think it was at the Jimmy Kimmel Show, which is a very far left. Well, now it is. But they went on the street, man on the street interviews, and they say, what do you think about Obama's plan to help small businesses by giving them said thing or whatever? And they'd interview these people. I'm like, oh my God, like it's so great. He cares about the little guy. He's really trying to help people out. He's why I'm voting for, not Obama, for Hillary. And they go, oh no, I'm sorry. That wasn't a Hillary concept. That's Donald Trump's campaign. That's what he's campaigning on. Like, okay, well, you know what? It's actually not that good. It's like, see, they don't have virtues. They don't have values. They just have talking points, and they have pre-approved ideas of who they can be as a person. And it's kind of sad because I've never seen this amount of like mind control and people buying onto something outside of what is actually a cult. And I don't want to say like having liberal values makes you a member of a cult, but honestly, still voting for Democrats despite everything that's occurred, especially during the COVID years, you kind of sound like you're a member of the cult.
Well, actually, that was a speech by Hillary.
Yeah.
I agree. No, I agree that the center of gravity in this country has shifted. Certainly, the Democratic Party shifted to the left, but that's not what.
Yeah, but the UK is even worse. I don't know what her point is.
what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people like Rupert
Not
Lowe. I'm
fringe
talking
right,
about
please.
people
It's actually just normal people.
Yes.
It's just normal people.
Yeah, normal people don't want our gangs going around harming kids, especially kids like, what was it? Kids in foster care. Your most vulnerable girls that are getting taken advantage of by largely groups from Pakistan. Not all Pakistanis are evil. That's not that hard of a concept to believe. But there was a certain gang that came from there. Certain gangs that Pakistan refuses to readmit into their country because the UK has already convicted them of terrible crimes. You not being able to accept the fact that this has actually been something that's like in court documents. They've already been convicted. This is already, since we've already discovered this. If you can't say, okay, this is bad without saying, noticing this and putting it on social media is a far-right ideal, means you don't mind sacrificing the lives of innocent kids in your country over letting the Republicans win one.
It's just normal people, and here are the principles. And tell me which of these sound terrible. That we should have secure borders, that we should have safe cities, that we should have sensible spending.
No, Elon, that's far right. How dare you have MAGA ideals on the internet? Safe borders? What do you mean? Are you a racist for wanting safe cities and border laws? Like, yeah, we know the countries we deport people to enforce their border laws. We know if you overstay your visa in Mexico, they hold you in prison while you're working it off. Like, we know every single country, not every single country, many countries in Africa will imprison you for entering their borders illegally. But you know what? It's only bad when Western Europe and America does it, or when Japan does it.
Which of those three are far right fringe? And
she doesn't want to talk. I just want to label you things. I don't want to discuss why you're those things.
I would like to just admonish you and the media for the absurd characterization of the far right. It is false and misleading and nonsense.
And here's the thing, is you've relabeled everything. The word vaccine doesn't mean what it used to be. Racist doesn't mean what it used to be. Now it's like, oh, we changed the definition to like a privilege plus power is racism now. Vaccine is no longer makes certain that you don't get it. They changed the definition literally. Now it's like, if you call me far right, what used to be far right is just like, it's almost, honestly, being called far right now is almost a compliment because it means you're doing something they're so deathly afraid of, they're trying to call you names for it. It's got to be a compliment now.
Please keep this part in.
We'll keep all of this in, but let me
Don't cut this part.
Let me push back on that. Let me push back on that
because
you have
nonsense.
Elon, you have, what is it, close to 250 million followers on X.
Okay. Yeah.
You say things like,
popular guy.
Quote, civil war in Britain is inevitable.
Yes.
Just a question
on the current
of when.
trends, yes.
Yes.
I mean, when were you last in the
already.
UK?
A few years ago.
Exactly. So I live there. I'm there the whole time. That is nonsense.
You live a cloistered existence.
No, I don't actually. And the number.
The fact that's the thing is, whenever somebody, this is the same thing. This is not the London. The same thing I know when I live in LA. When the people like, girls will be like, oh, I support, defund the police, close these jails. It's so bad what they do to nonviolent offenders. I'm voting for Prop 47. I'm voting for 57. I'm voting for 64. I'm voting for Karen Basota again. I'm voting for new scam after the recall election. Like, because they don't think anything is like they don't believe the violence, and all of a sudden their car gets broken into, or their home gets broken into. They dial 911 and they can't get a cop on the phone for over an hour. They actually get mugged on the street. They get attacked or assaulted while walking their dog at night. Like, these are specific incidents I can tell you about. But it's like, until it actually happens to them, they don't believe it. And it's like he says, you live in a very cloistered existence. That's a word beyond my comprehension. But it's like, they're very coddled. They don't live in the real world. And they say, nothing makes a conservative faster than being a victim of a violent crime. And sad to say, you don't want this to be their red pill moment, but just because nothing's happened to her, like literally in her country, they just said 250,000 girls, if not more, have been victimized by this. For her to say, but everything's down, I saw the performance metrics, and because I live in a classy neighborhood around armed guards, and I don't get exposed to this. I don't live in the hood. I'm not in a foster care agency. I'm not out there amongst where they just popped up a newcomer facility. It's okay, guys. Again, the people in their ivory tower want to tell you peasants how to live, and then they get upset and call you a white nationalist if you say, hey, a lot of girls are getting hard here, but that makes you a bad person.
Numbers also disprove what you say.
What numbers?
All the numbers about crime. London is a much safer city than any city in the United States.
That should just be the intro right there. If that's your point, London's safer than any city in the US, already you've lost your bubble. Done. You're done. Everything should be on mute now. You should be fired, I think.
States. Violent crime in the UK is not where you think it is. In fact, it's coming down. You have painted.
Just because you can juke the stats doesn't mean they're down. But again, this is all about what somebody said, throwing a whole bunch of shotgunning things on the wall and seeing what sticks.
And because you have so many followers, so many Americans believe it, a kind of view that Europe and the UK are kind of, overrun with terrifying Muslim immigrants. There's rape on every corner. There's a sort of civilizational destruction.
I haven't said any of those things. Yep. If you have a large and rapidly growing group of people whose beliefs are antithetical to Western beliefs, at some point there will be a reckoning. They will try to implement their views, and those who oppose it will oppose it, and that's what you call civil war. And obviously, this is the trend. And you absolutely do live in a cloistered existence. And if you'd like, we can go on a tour of Britain.
Sure. I'd be very happy to come on a tour of Britain.
And you will see for yourself.
You come see my country that I live in all the time, and you have...
We see this all the time where people are like, oh, everybody says Chicago doesn't have violent crime. And they go to like where the, what is that, like that... I'm blanking on the name of it or whatever, but they'll go by like the Chicago Cubs stadium. They'll go by the financial district and they'll say, see, Chicago isn't violent. It's like, yeah, they had like 10 shootings over the weekend. Lots of kids still getting blasted over there. And then you'll see the same thing in LA. Like, oh, I went to LA and it was fine. Like I was by Dodger Stadium. I went to the Grove and then I went to the Century City Mall. It's not that bad. It's like, yeah, if you just ignore you didn't go to Skid Row, didn't go to South Central, you weren't hanging out over at Venice Beach. Like, as long as you ignore the bad parts, it's good parts. And it's like, yeah, she wants to take him on a propaganda tour, but she will probably refuse to actually go to the actual problem areas. The no-go zones that are very real now.
I've been there literally.
Yeah. I think it's good that he's finally fighting back against this because, again, the wrap-up smear. They're going to try to label him something, and they'll never prove it. They'll just say, hey, we addressed it, and he didn't want to comment on it. He went on some alt-right MAGA rant, and they say, well, I don't know what this is. This isn't E! News, whatever outlet this is, but one outlet will report on it. Somebody else will report on their reporting, and then now you have an official narrative about something. And I've seen this happen in real time, where they've talked about a certain online creator saying, he's done this insane S-crime. And then somebody said, yeah, they said they did that insane S-crime. Never been convicted. I don't even know where the claims came from. But then now the official narrative on Reddit is he has said thing. There's no proof on it, but they've done the wrap-up smear so successfully with probably bots and paid-for agitators that you have effectively made their opinions on things ineffective, because whenever they make a point on something, it's met with a whole bunch of people, bots and useful idiots combined, there to say, oh, here's the talking points we received. I heard that too. And they're just trying to establish this against Elon Musk. They used to love him with electric cars, used to love him with going to space, his flamethrower and his boring company in the tunnels, and him being good for the environment. But ever since he said, you know what? I'm tired of the mainstream media having control of what you think about Donald Trump. Here's some truth. They turned on him, and now they're trying to call him a racist. It's called character assassination, exactly what it is. It's been happening forever, and sad to say, idiots will fall for it every time. Wait for Denmark. Denmark's going down too. Which is sad. They call you a racist because they are racist. That's why they hate us the most. If you happen to be non-white, they can't use the white nationalist label on you. Sometimes they try to. Like, oh my god, like it is hilarious how this is one particular incident. Somebody just started filling my inboxes, my DMs, everything with like, they're never gonna accept you, MAGA won't love you, you're Asian, they're just using you, blah, blah, like, you have to be with us. And I'm like, First of all, who the fuck is us? Like, I'm just thinking for myself. I've experienced things in LA I didn't like, and they're Democrat values. Then, magically, after that person stopped emailing me, because I don't reply to shit, a different person from a different address and different accounts like, I'm MAGA and I'll never accept you. Haha, you've fallen for every trick in the book. You're endorsing Trump, and it's like, we hate you. We hate people like you using all the racial slurs. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is very organic. There's a guy that says, I'm MAGA and I hate you. Came out of nowhere. First time I've ever heard this, right after the other person was saying, how dare you escape, essentially, the cage that we put you in. They're weirdos, they're creepy, but honestly, it's like, I've talked about it briefly before, but the one guy that was actually making some pretty serious threats against me, and this is when I was covering the last year I was covering the anti-ICE riots in Los Angeles. Going hard on me, and I was like, I know his account's private, but I'm an investigator by trade. I was able to find out all these things about him because his account was attached to something else. It wasn't that hard to find. Half an hour, all his information's public. Like, I wasn't looking for it, but it's like you can see where he works, what job he has, his YouTube account where he's trying to be like a video game streamer, lots of sad posts about his father passing away, and it was one of those things of like, yeah, dude, you shouldn't be a racist guy towards me. Yeah, you shouldn't be making threats that you're gonna come after me. But also, you're just a dude working a dead-end job. You lost your father not too long ago. You live in a dump. You're way older than someone that should be like roasting somebody online, and I'm seeing that life didn't really transpire the way you wanted it to. I very easily could just forward your DMs to your employer and say, hey, do you know that you have an insanely racist, violent individual working for your company? Like, you probably don't want that. But I just, sad to say, a guy's saying he's gonna end me, and I just feel bad for him. I'm like, not to be like, oh my god, ha ha ha, I'm so successful and you're just a loser. But I'm like, hey man, my life very easily could have been like that. And in high school, I know a lot of guys that ended up like you. I hope, it's like, I'm not trying to be like, I'm holier than thou, but I'm like, I hope you get stuff together and you have something better to do in your life than to see videos on YouTube you disagree with and stalk the guy you hate. Like, just how it is. Everybody's saying you should, but honestly, it was like one of those things of, even at the time I knew, I was like, okay, I researched it, I found his other account, I found his YouTube, and I'm like, I could be making my next video. Making more entertaining stuff for you. Watching other content and trying to do market research, or like figuring out how to get the chat to display over here, doing better. I could be doing a lot of stuff good. A lot of better stuff for my life. He's just trying to pull me into his world while I'm yelling at him. He's yelling at me. I've seen a lot of creators that they like doing that stuff. They like arguing on Twitter. And I'm like, nah, dude, like, you don't block the person. You just put them on mute. Like, I got plenty of haters that just follow me every post I go that say something snarky or stupid. And even in this chat right now, probably there's people in this thing that I don't see right now because I've muted them. Because why? Why even interact with them? Because they're not where they want to be. They want to get you caught up in their thing. And it's just... it helps nobody. It probably hurts them more than it hurts you because they're gonna get caught into it more. Yeah, attention. That's all they want. Attention. I'm not trying to say these people are dogs, but it's like bad dog theory, where it's like, if you have a dog that has behavioral issues, sometimes even getting scolded, chewing on the couch and saying, no, bad dog, is still being acknowledged better than being ignored, so they don't mind it. They'll chew on the couch knowing they're gonna get yelled at because at least they were acknowledged that day. Jealousy. Most of the time it is jealousy. You know what it is. Is it good on you? I don't admire being a public figure with political opinions in this political environment. And here's the thing, it's like, even though the internet's incredibly toxic and seems pretty violent and scary, every single person I've met in real life has been positive. Like, just cool people that like are into it. Like, I remember there's a restaurant that I like to frequent, and the one the waiter I got, he was pretty cool. He's like, yeah, a lot of us watch you in this restaurant, and he said, I don't agree with you on every political take, but I like that you're real about stuff. And I'm like, see, that's the thing. It's like, I'm glad you're not a clone of me, where me and you were just patting each other on the back like, oh, let's just confirmation bias us into an echo chamber. It's like, no, we should have differing opinions, but still respect each other enough and have an open mind enough to hear a different opinion without freaking out and saying, I'm going to attack you on the internet. It's like, no, we need to be level-headed because the left has lost that. Adults can respect each other and still disagree. And this is the sad part, is that when you see what happened over in Madison, Wisconsin. Now, obviously you can't play the whole full video on this, but it's the guy was ended by the police. Reddit keeps on posting it and deleting it and like trying to change what it was. Like, oh, Madison police, they execute a guy. This one, I don't even know what it is. It was just removed by the moderator after 1,000 posts, 1,000 likes. Everybody's like just piling on how bad the cops are. But the brief synopsis is, the guy, you can tell him, he has a blade on him. The coppers are saying he's got a piece on him. He's got a piece on him. Female copper runs up and says, taser, taser, taser. I think they do tase him, but then as he's reaching, another cop lights him up quite a few times, and he's done. Everybody keeps on blasting the coppers for the way they reacted to it, having never needed to arrest a violent individual. They've never had their life on the line. They don't know how fast things happen. I've even had like a conversation with my barber at one point in time where he thought all you need is one round in the leg to stop a violent individual. And I'm like, you have no idea what the real world is like. Like, you are in a little bubble, and the fact that you think this is a real thing you can do, and you are actually marching in the streets physically, protesting against the police. All cops are bad people, and you have a fundamental misunderstanding of how pieces work. I don't want to say that, oh, you're ignorant, you're an idiot, but it's like, that's who's out there speaking on this. But then you see this video from Public Freakout. I'm surprised it's still here. They say, protesters burst in and take over police press conference in Madison, Wisconsin regarding yesterday's incident.
You're going to say the same thing you all say every time a black body gets shot down in this city. This is a corrupt city. That's right. Have no fear. The anti-Zionist is here. You understand me? You won't be...
Again, more talking points. You can have these opinions, but they should at least be backed by something, or actually, like, there's a reason you think these things, not just, I heard a sign saying it, I heard it on social media, and now I think it too. What does this sign say? Corrupt cops deserve... Oh, I think that's a threat right there. Oh my god. And yeah, obviously they're not afraid of the police popping off random people and being violent, because if they have the restraint to not do something here, they probably aren't as bad as you think they are. But yeah, he's out there yelling at them.
I don't want to hear anything you've been saying. You're going to say the same thing you all say every time a black body gets shot down in this city. This is a corrupt city. That's right. Have no fear. The anti-Zionist is here. You understand me? You won't be able to talk today, because I'm going to keep talking, because I was born to talk my talk and walk my walk too. I told these young people back here on our way here that we have the power. Not that badge, not that weapon. We have the power. The city of Madison is corrupt. From the DA...
And I wouldn't be surprised if Madison, Wisconsin was corrupt. And again, like, I can agree with a lot of things that Hassan is saying, but then he takes them too far to the extremes and has nefarious intentions behind his beliefs. I can disagree with things that Asmongold says, disagree with things that Trump says, but it's like, the simple fact that I don't think this is based in reality, this is just talking points, because it gets worse. Very emotional, yes.
The Department of Independent Monitoring. We don't want any of that talk. You've given us this speech with "you'll deliver justice." Oh, we've seen the cameras. We've seen it was a knife in this young man's hand. We don't want to hear that today. We didn't want to hear it.
Whoa. You mean to say you knew about the blade in the guy's hands, and that doesn't change it? It's just like the Michael Brown scenario, where you had all the witnesses saying, he said, hands up, don't shoot. I think I'm getting, this is the correct incident. Hands up, don't shoot. And then later on they say, oh, the witnesses that saw that weren't actually there. The autopsy reveals, no, he's reaching for the gun as he's getting hit. They say, okay, well, you know what? We're not trying to hear all that. It's the overarching theme that black men are in danger in police interactions. So we're going to go ahead and just keep on pushing that scenario as if he did say, hands up, don't shoot. I don't care about that this guy was holding a knife. I don't care if he actually was armed. It's the narrative that is, oh, you guys are corrupt, so I'm going with that.
When they put their neck on George Floyd's neck, their foot on George Floyd's neck, and we don't want to hear it today.
There was no foot on his neck. What?
What do you have to say about that? Oh, you don't get to talk, I said.
Right.
Go ahead.
I'll step aside.
That's right. Oh, give me this microphone.
And again, they're not a corrupt, violent, blast anybody because of their color police force because they let this guy just go on this rant forever.
And excuse me. That's right. My name is Carlos Dixon. I represent AppTap.
I hate the body language. If this is the chief, then it must be a very... Does anybody know Madison, Wisconsin? Does it have a Democrat mayor? Because obviously they're going to appoint a very, very weak individual as a chief. Yeah, hands behind the back, head down. He is terrified of this guy.
All power to all people. Zero power to Zionists. Zero power to capitalists. Zero...
See, this is what makes me think that he just has parroted talking points. What does that have to do with anything? If you're gonna be angry at a situation, be angry at the situation. Corrupt cops, okay. Police brutality, okay. There's no body cams, let's address it. A lot of things that we could talk about here. But once you start going off on that over there, not that you disagree or agree with anything he's saying, but it's so irrelevant that makes me believe you don't have a thought in that head.
Power to colonialism. What you are doing right now...
Colonial... What? This is like if Reddit had a bot. Like if you just made a Cloud bot, just say, hey, pick up a whole bunch of just Reddit talking points and just stuff them in a guy with the loudspeaker. This is what it is. Yeah, what does colonial has to do with it? Nothing.
in this city is continuing the disgusting nature of colonialism, the disgusting nature of imperialism. Look up the definition of imperialism.
That's like when somebody said, like, oh, what is Donald Trump? And he's like, oh, the lady was like, oh, he's a fascist. And the Fox News guy said, okay, so define fascist. And she was like, no, you look it up. You look it up. I know what it is. You look it up. It's like, I don't think you know what you're talking about. But again, people were proudly paired talking points because they think this makes them socially just or righteous or part of the cool crowd. This is, I can almost guarantee this guy posted this on his social media.
It's all within the policies, which means when these police officers come down on the street and they decide that they want to take the life of another brown body, there is no oversight for that. That's imperialism.
I mean, that's not imperialism. It's not. One is not imperialism, and two, there is oversight. You're seeing the oversight right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man signed up to be an enforcer of imperialism. Is there anybody else want to say anything? Yeah. It doesn't matter what, okay, the people want to talk.
This guy thinks he's a rock. Oh man, you know what the funny thing is though, is I think Asmongold said recently is like, never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. And honestly, maybe this cop was in the right to do this. Maybe, because I was thinking, I was like, okay, why are you gonna let this guy snatch the mic and do all this stuff? Like, just shut him up. Like, don't let him go on this thing. Don't waste all our time. But you know what? Maybe he was like, I can tell by his vernacular, he's about to make a damn fool out of himself. So you know what? I'm gonna step aside. Go, by all means, take 20 minutes. Let me know what you have to say so everybody on ABC 12 can hear what the left has to say about this police shooting. Like, if you shut him up, you look like you're silencing a guy that has a point. If you let him speak, you make everybody realize, oh, maybe they're all just idiots.
Come up here. The people want to talk. The people want to talk. Come up here. This is our press conference. And I put my lips all over this microphone.
You went from colonialism, imperialism to saying, my lips are on the microphone because this is the people's thing. The cop's grinning, yeah.
To the people.
Yeah. The funnier part about this is, like, the Reddit, and I think this is all bots, but they say the mic match is also good. And oh, the police union will make sure nothing happens to the police. Oh, let them cook. It's like they didn't even see the video. It's like ChatGPT just glazed this based on what everybody else is saying stuff. They say, I appreciate him and that they allowed him to speak. He fell off pretty hard though as soon as he realized people were listening. A shame. Yeah, he had the opportunity and fumbled. To be fair, he didn't expect to get that far. And sad to say is, all the Redditors were like, yeah, he's saying what I would say. I like what this is. Like, oh, you know, don't fumble this opportunity. It's because they're all the same level of understanding what law enforcement looks like. If a guy is crazed with a blade and the law enforcement has to end them, it's never going to look good. I think over in Orange County, California, very recently, a similar thing. Guy running around with a blade, having a mental episode, and unfortunately the police lit him up, and I think they're gone as well. We don't want to see that, but there's really no alternative once it's gotten that bad. They say, oh, we should have had a social worker. We should have got them more assistance. Okay, by all means. You don't want incidents like this to happen, and you're very, very up in arms on social media about it. You live in the area. Go volunteer yourself in your free time to help people that have violent pasts, suffering from schizophrenia, substance abuse issues. Get your ass off the internet and get out there in person and help these individuals. But if the extent of your goodwill is shaming the police for having to open fire so they don't get bladed up by an insane person on the street, you don't mean anything. You don't live in the real world. You are this keyboard justice warrior, and you are going to be the same thing that guy charging the mic in Wisconsin was like, oh, this is about imperialism and enforcing what was the other thing? The colonialism. That's what you signed up for. It's like, nah, you guys are just throwing adult temper tantrums. I'm sorry to say that what worked in high school, what worked in college, when you made a diorama and a poster board saying, these are the bad things that happen in a historic event, and I'm mad at them, so everybody in my college course is paying here to listen to me, the teacher's being paid to listen to me, so obviously I'm making an impact because that's how important I am. No, we're past that. No more games, no performative activism. You're in the real world. You either actually want to make an impact and change things, or you just want to complain so maybe the adults do something about it, and we're just tired of hearing it. Yeah, his family should have gotten him help. Social workers, if they had a sense he was fading. The sad part is what was it? It was New Year's Eve. There was a guy, I forgot what it was, but he had an AR, so it was an expensive piece. For the holiday, he was letting off rounds in a residential apartment complex. An ICE officer off duty came down, said, hey, drop it. He pointed it at the officer, and the officer lit him up, and the guy tragically died. I think it's like in Reseda. Like, Reseda's northern Los Angeles Valley area, so it's like probably like 45 minutes away from downtown LA, but it's still Los Angeles County. So it's in Los Angeles area. But his family members were from something like not Simi Valley, like Santa Clarita area, like way up north, like maybe 40 more minutes north. They were so up in arms at the idea that an ICE agent blasted their kid, he has mental health issues or whatever, that they wanted to have his memorial in their neighborhood. So it's like there's so much about being on TV and this is bad, and they're getting their time in the media spotlight, but they're not willing to go to the area it happened in. They weren't willing to help him when he was out there going through whatever it was. They're just there to cash in on the tragedy that their death is, and it's sad. Yeah, and the thing is like, oh, he was shooting straight in the air. It's like, but it wasn't straight in the air. It's gonna go through somebody's window, could end somebody. It's not a safe thing, but they glaze over that. Just like they glazed over the idea the guy was holding a knife, possibly a piece. I don't care that he was holding a knife. You guys are imperialists, colonialists. I don't care the guy had an AR and he was blasting in the air, then points it at an ICE agent. ICE is bad. "40 minutes north, does that equal 10 miles? I mean, kinda. If it was in the valley, LAPD would be there in an hour. Response time's awful. Oh, no. I'm telling you right now. One time I was in charge of security of a building in the valley. I get there, and obviously the building had been broken into. So I'm on the phone with LAPD, say, hey, I need a response. Like, okay, we'll respond to unit. So I'm there maybe like 1 in the morning, constantly calling LAPD after every hour. Come out. Somebody's got to come out, because my company's policy is if the building's been broken into, I can't go in there alone because a person could still be in there, so that there's a hazard. Waited like probably 6 hours until police finally showed up. And once one copper showed up and saw that there actually was like a crowbar mark on the building, somebody's in there, gets on the radio, 5 squad cars respond within minutes. And I'm like, see, you guys just don't give a fuck. Like, you guys aren't actually here to assist the civilians. I don't know how understaffed you guys are. It's like, it's a joke over there. Criminals hiding behind double standards, and that's the thing. It's a soft bigotry of low expectations. They're never gonna blame an insane guy for holding a knife fighting the cops because they don't think that you're capable of being a law-abiding citizen. We expect the cops to play by the rules. We don't expect the junkie hopped up on meth to not have a knife when he's attacking people in cars. Swerve and deflect, swerve and deflect. That's all it is now. You don't get he did assist though, right? Like the cops? Like 6 hours later, meaning to say they could be stealing lots of cash. They could be stealing lots of corporate secrets. They could be in there doing some damage, but the coppers that we pay top dollar in taxes in that area to serve us could care less about actually responding to the call. And it's like, it barely took you guys 20 minutes to do an effective sweep of the building so I can get in there and start working on the case. But the simple fact that they're not available to respond to calls, me keep on calling and saying, hey, I need somebody to come out here, just shows what little services you get for top premium taxes in the city. I don't know. We could talk about the Odyssey. Could talk about California still going down. Got some ICE stuff up here too. What do you want to see? California, ICE, Odyssey. What is chat? Let me know. Singing California. Gundam, ICE, or Cali. ICE, Odyssey. Everybody's saying everything. California sales tax going over 11%. I mean, it's so bad. It's crazy. It's Cali, ICE. We'll do California, then we'll do ICE. It's crazy how then we'll do Odyssey then. It's crazy how I'm sure like if Los Angeles has like 11% sales tax, Santa Monica, for the ghost town that it is, their sales tax got to be 13% now. Because I remember it was even so bad that I was willing to drive all the way to the mall in Thousand Oaks to get an Apple MacBook because their sales tax, I think at the time, was like still like $675, if not lower. And then in Santa Monica, the sales tax was like 11 something percent, like 11.75. It's like a whole 5% sales tax on the laptop. That's like $2,000-$3,000. Yeah, it's not like enough to pay for the. Well, actually, it probably wasn't enough to pay for the gas over there. I'm like, at least I can go to the outlet malls and enjoy the area and stuff. It's like, that's how you guys are losing out on sales. Someone that can does. Yeah, but what is it? Again, not the first leak over in West Hollywood, but a second leak.
It was, Philip. We were really concerned because the first thought was, are these two huge water main breaks? Well, this one's not huge, but it was, Philip. We were really concerned because the first thought was, are these two huge water main breaks? Well, this one's not huge, but could this be related to the huge one we had last Thursday on Sunday?
Probably is. This is the 5th water main break throughout Los Angeles. Now, again, I think Los Angeles, the greater Los Angeles area, is the size of some states, or has a population of some states, so it's a large area. But the second large water main break in West Hollywood alone is the city's falling apart.
Over by San Vicente, and it turns out it's not related, according to DWP, and it looks like it's going to be a much smaller pipe that burst here.
And the first one's not even repaired yet.
36-inch main line that burst out on Sunset, and DWP was able to shut it down pretty quickly. So what we're seeing is not a lot of damage in the area. Some folks here off Santa Monica Boulevard at Laurel could be without water. I'm not certain about that. I don't see a lot of damage, so that is good news. But excuse me, Philip, traffic is going to be an issue. Now, it looks like Santa Monica Boulevard eastbound will be shut down. You can tell the workers are there. Westbound is open. But, you know, everybody's trying to avoid Sunset for east-west travel so they could use Santa Monica Boulevard as an alternate. And now you can't traveling eastbound. So all the surface streets getting a lot of added pressure. Not so bad right now, but, boy, later in the morning, that afternoon rush, you know, going to lunch.
3 p.m. is
West
Hollywood,
Hollywood area, you're just going to be affected. You got to go down to Melrose or Fairfax, and already you can't see it, but I can. Melrose has a lot of traffic on it. So the traffic implications are huge. Fortunately, the water main appears to have been a small one, and they were able to shut it down very quickly.
Well, yeah, and you feel like they will probably be able to repair this in a...
And it's like the Brea area, it was already sinking into... They're already having like, what is it called? Sinkholes appearing. It's getting bad, getting worse. But then they said, after all these billions of dollars they spent, homelessness is again skyrocketing.
An alarming number revealed by a Fox 11 exclusive investigation. According to multiple...
Exclusive investigation? You just walk around the streets in Los Angeles and know homelessness is up. Done. Shut down the newsroom, guys. We already see it.
Inside sources familiar with WASA's latest homeless count, the number of people living on LA streets is up, roughly 3.5% from last year.
I think it's more than that.
And they had a chance to handle it, but then, you know, Spencer Pratt is posting this, but for some reason, nobody wants to investigate the fact that magically, Nithya Raman got all these overnight ballots, all for her, not for Bass, and then after she got ahead in the polls, they shut down the counting almost instantaneously, and now she's since disappeared since then. Where's Raman right now, guys? Only there to absorb votes, push Pratt out of the election so they can get more communist socialists in office.
You think it's more?
Right.
What makes you think that?
100%.
I see it all the time.
After 2 straight years of reported declines, sources tell Fox 11
this was the declines because it was advantageous for them to have declines, but also no. The amount of daily deaths of homeless overdosing outpaced the amount of new homeless. Meaning to say, the numbers were never going down. They just couldn't take care of these people overdosing, and all the harm reduction stuff was just giving them more access to overdose. And then the scary part is, how many times were they offing each other and they just chalk it up to, oh, it was just an accidental fire in their tent and they're gone. Terrifying stuff is happening over there, but then, you know, people are just averting their eyes at this massacre.
year's count is expected to climb back to around 2024 levels when it's released Friday.
I'm definitely concerned. We've been concerned over the last year that the
concern is where it starts and concern is where it ends. They're not going to do anything about it. She's legitimately an evil person, I think.
numbers might go up because of the cuts we've experienced.
Oh, this is like they're rainmaking us. It's the whole green initiative stuff, like with the environment. You know, carbon emissions are going up. I'm flying private, but you know what? Global warming's happening. Global warming's happening. We just haven't got enough money. Polar ice caps will be gone in a decade. Decades going by. It's because you cut our funding. 5 more years go by. They're still there. It's not global warming. It's actually climate change. That's just more storms, more cold and cooling. That's what it is. Give us more money. You gave us more money. Well, it's actually because we need a little bit more. They're rainmaking you. If it gets colder, they change the goalpost. If they get more money, it's because if they get more money, they change the goalpost. If they get less money, they blame the funding. They're rainmaking you, and there's no winning with them other than lining their pockets in perpetuity. This is basically the speed rail relabeled something else. Give us $10 billion, we'll build you 1 foot of rail. Give me $20 more billion. Actually, it's not about building rail. It's about providing California residents with jobs. Complete and utter nonsense. But the sad fact is, if you don't vote these people out and they don't serve the citizens, they serve how many harvested ballots they can get, it's never going to change, and we just become tax cattle for the wealthy elites because you can't get your way out of this. It's impossible.
changes.
Last week, Mayor Karen Bass warned funding reductions to LAHSA following scrutiny over...
Okay, and LAHSA, I'll tell you right now, first-hand experience. I say this all the time. Lived in an office right next to a shopping mall. I would go there twice a day to get coffee and once a day to get lunch most days. At any time of the day, I could go to that shopping mall food court and I would see 5 to 8 LAHSA people hanging out, loitering, doing nothing. It was an upscale mall. There's no homeless. Well, there are homeless people every now and then, but they're not inside the department store. They're not at the Wetzel Pretzel. All these lots of people just doing nothing but loitering, probably collecting a handsomer check than I was at the time. Doing nothing. We cut back on those senseless employees. That's why we need more money for more senseless employees.
Spending and management could impact progress.
I don't listen to numbers. My eyes are better than numbers.
I've seen a lot going on within the streets that has helped people get inside.
This block on South Hope Street.
Little Elysium, this is South Hope Street. Abject poverty, like Tijuana, third world living, and you have an ivory tower over there with like rental rates probably in the $2,000 to $3,000 a month. How we got here and how we refuse to move on from this or change anything is just ridiculous.
Highlights the homeless crisis, where several buildings have caught fire, many people think from squatters.
Yes.
These are nuisance properties, right? And there's not enough inspectors, there's not enough funding of these programs.
Fresh plywood already ripped from one of the entrances.
Inspectors and programs don't stop the drug-addled career criminals. You need prison. You need... No, not psychiatric care facilities, because that's just a revolving door. You need more prisons. You need to put these people away, because if they are so antisocial, they can't stop from 1, awing each other, and 2, burning each other down. We can't have a society functioning with them.
While Martine digs through burned rubble for metal to recycle.
Buscando fierro, metal.
As LA prepares for Friday's release, the numbers may be changing, but scenes like this haven't.
Downtown, we face the brunt of it. Downtown is, the heart of the homelessness crisis. We need help.
And I used to think that, but remember, I lived in a decent part of LA, lived in the hood, and went to escape the hood to a nicer area, paid more in rent, and slowly, year after year, Prop 47 passed, Prop 57 passed, and 64 passed, and everything I escaped from downtown LA followed me to the, not rich area, but the nicer area of the city. Slowly, one by one, I was like, you know what? Everything I left, violent homeless people, fires, no parking, literal poo everywhere, that is now in this area. And it's like, yeah, that's why these policies don't work. That's why I am the way I am. And the idea that they want to provide more services to this and less police resources and criticize whenever law enforcement does do something that looks bad on camera just shows they're willing to sacrifice more of the city in order to get a little bit more money. And it's sickening.
We need more resources. We need to do bigger things.
Mayor Karen Bass just sent us this statement saying for 2 years straight, we drove down homelessness by historic margins.
Literal ghoul. More homeless people died than moved in or became newly homeless. And she's congratulating herself. Not to mention the idea that I think it was Lhasa itself, they said to get down the homelessness crisis, the numbers down, because they wanted to have new Scam and her running for re-election, all clapping that shit up. They said Lhasa's no longer allowed to count, I think it was something like homeless people in their car during the day. They no longer count as homeless. And we used to do late night counts because that's where they all congregate and we know who's homeless. We're only going to count during the day. So homelessness has probably skyrocketed, but they wanted to juke the stats. Not because they wanted to fix the problems, but what they wanted to say is, hey, look, we can juke the stats down, congratulate ourselves with our whole historic margins of homelessness being eliminated. And then when it's advantageous for us to campaign and start panhandling more of your taxpayer pennies, now homelessness is up. It's all a game, but the sad to say is, like you see in every part of this video, this isn't like care for these homeless people living in squalor on there, burning each other down. Like, there's a lot of mental illness out there. Like, I'm not being mean to this person, but I'm like, I wouldn't want this for my family. I wouldn't want this for my class. I wouldn't want this for my neighbor. I wouldn't, like, even my enemies. Like, if this was certain said political commentators that may be electrocuting animals, I wouldn't want that for them, because that's just like abject, like that's suffering. This is not compassion, and yet they're just doing these games so they can say we need more taxpayer funds. I don't care if your life is over and you're suffering every day in and day out. This is a good way for me to win politically.
Do bigger things.
Mayor Karen Bass just sent us this statement saying for 2 years straight, we drove down homelessness by historic margins. But as expected, last year our efforts ultimately couldn't keep up with policies and funding cuts on the federal and state levels.
Oh, so they're trying to blame Trump. Orange man bad. Never mind the idea that when Trump came out, she was all on her knees cooperating. Yeah, we're going to cut the red tape. We're going to let all the people in the Pacific Palisades rebuild. And then I guess, according to Spencer Pratt, immediately after he left, they said, we're not cutting red tape. We're just going to keep on doing it. We're not going to let Trump dangle this up ahead of us. Something to the effect of, we're still going to do what we do in California. And it almost seems like it's been a lab grab since. They want to fail the citizens and blame Trump because failing their citizens to get a better jab at Trump is more important than making California and Los Angeles a better place to live in.
This crisis was ignored by city leaders for decades. It's only...
Wait. Who were the city leaders? Was it Republicans? Was it MAGA conservatives in Los Angeles? Or was it the Democrats? Was it Garcetti? Was it you? Was it everybody that's been there for years? Is it their fault? It's like Kamala Harris trying to simultaneously campaign against Biden, saying there's failures, and campaigning that we did a good job. Like, they think you're stupid because if you're still voting for them, you probably are.
Only now that we've seen a historic decline, I will never stop fighting until no end.
You've never started fighting. You slapping on some Nike Cortezes or Nike Panda Dunks to go paint over one small piece of graffiti, or you to yell at the Greg Bavino when they're cleaning up MacArthur Park with ice. That isn't you fighting. That's just you doing a photo op in between your trips to Africa.
Angelinos are sleeping on our streets. Sources say that this report is also going to be broken down by city council district. Some districts saw that increase, others saw a decrease. We're live tonight downtown. Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
Yeah. It doesn't even need to be from Fox News, downtown LA. Everybody can see how bad it's getting, but no. Did you know? It's like, what is it? More than 3 years since Newsom announced he's spending $700 million in taxpayer money to 1,200 tiny homes in Los Angeles.
And so what we are doing,
no, maybe
we're
California.
Deploying these 1,200 plus units. You can see these units are not just in every case for one individual, multiple individuals in these units. We're hoping to get them constructed in a matter of months, not years.
Are they even built now? Wait, are they built? Hope you're sitting here. He hasn't delivered one single tiny home. 2023 March, he wanted $750 million from Kevin Dalton reports $750 million to build tiny homes. Haven't done a single one.
We're trying to, I wanted to say the summer. My staff said press will attack us if we fall short. So we're saying the fall.
The press won't attack you guys because you're offering $250,000, I think, per network to support local reporting. But the sad part is, it's just to get your hands in their pockets. So you now have leverage against KCAL News, Fox 11 News. Local California outlets can't dare speak against you and press you for not building these homes because they got to come back annually to get that $250,000. As you know, every single news network's got to compete with weird guys in Boston Celtics jerseys rambling in their little home office and outperforming all you guys. But now, as of today says, he's announcing $100 million in Prop 1 funds to create 278 new permanent supportive homes in Bakersfield, Contra Costa County, Fresno, and Sacramento. These projects will tangibly help move Californians off the street, provide stable housing, and expand behavioral health services. And as you guys are aware, this is exclusively the reason I left Los Angeles, is because they built one of these. They're not halfway houses. They're not like Section 8 houses. They're like where you get you're a homeless guy and you get a voucher to live in this new state-of-the-art building. Once it opened up next door to my very expensive apartment, immediately there was poo all around the block. People were smashing out windows of cars. It was like we went to the third world overnight. But then after I left, and I guess it's not rare enough where it would dox me, but I don't live there anymore. But there was an OD case at that place where kids lost their lives because idiot addicts left their stuff out in that little complex. And the next day, it was like set on fire too. These little Prop 1 funds, these little new permanent housing to get these people off the street, it doesn't make them any better. It just wastes tax dollars so they can, one, odd thing, homeless people love to have pit bulls because they live on the street and they use them for protection. Pit bull bites every day. Pit bull fights every day because they're just, you put them all in these little tiny units side by side with like communal bathrooms. It's a very dangerous area. They end each other, they set fires because they're junkies, and they tear up those places, and there's a curfew there, so whenever they don't get home in time for curfew, they loiter and rob your cars outside. Like, it doesn't fix the problem, but then if they can use that $100 million to build something that probably cost them $20,000, of course they're gonna jump at this opportunity. Yeah, California and New York City's a skit now. It's a skit, but not really. The funny thing is, though, is you have Gavin Newscam saying, Joe Rogan's too chicken to have me on his show, so he and JD Vance spent 3 hours on their California Derangement Syndrome safe space. How cute. He is literally, like I say, the ex-girlfriend of the high school quarterback. He's going to CIF finals, and Governor Newscam is just taking to social media to say, one day, I want to be relevant to him again. He's begging to be on Joe Rogan's show. Why would you want to be on Joe Rogan's show? You can't go out in deep water. Charlie Kirk made Gavin Newscam look regarded on his own show. But then Caleb Hammer, the number 3 podcast on the internet with Financial Audit, says, we're not the number 1 podcast like Rogan, but if you're still willing to settle for 3, your invite to Austin and Financial Audit still stands. His team still said no. I want this so bad. I'm not even like the biggest fan of Financial Audit. I just know he does a great show, and the fact that he employs all these people with his YouTube program is phenomenal. He is a financial genius, and that's why he has a show. But the idea is getting Governor Gavin Newscam on Financial Audit to talk about the atrocity that was, I think it was like $1 billion surplus turned into a like $10 billion deficit, is going to be, it'll not only probably end Gavin Newscam's career, might even bring charges on him because it's like, where'd the money go? But then also end his political career and probably any California Democrat that watched this occur. Yeah, Caleb Hammer's fun and entertaining. Like, he does a good show. They're starting to call it like Caleb Springer. It's like a Jerry Springer where it's more and more like clip oriented, like big moment and stuff. It's like, yeah, you can hate on it for not being dry, like strictly to the point financial advice, but it's like, yeah, financial advice shows are boring. At least he's able to cut through the noise that is social media right now, produce shorts, and get people that are financially illiterate to see the viral moments on social media. Like, oh my god, I want to click this, and then learn something about how bad and predatory college loans should be, and how the fact that if you're in 10K of debt, maybe you don't order DoorDash. Hate on the methods all you want, but he's actually providing a very good service. California hotel tax is actually driving away tourism. Everything is driving away business because you can't compete in the free market when you have options. If you aren't living under North Korean communism and you can still go live in Texas and Tennessee and Florida instead, you're going to do it. That's why Governor Gavin Newscam thinks, I want to tax people that leave the state like Canada taxes Canadians that leave the country. He thinks he's a dictator. He doesn't treat us like citizens. He thinks he's our pimp. California's never been tourist friendly? No, I think it's been tourist friendly. The weather, phenomenal. All the things you can do here, amazing. Like, I remember we tried to do like an adventure day where I'm like, you know, we literally can go cliff diving in the valley, into the river. We can go to the beach and go like skimboarding. We can go like go longboarding along the pier, and then we can end up snowboarding at night, all in one day, and like really enjoy the most that California has to offer. Like, get In-N-Out Burger. We never ended up doing it just because we got a little bit lazy. But the idea that California has a lot to offer, especially if you're like into theme parks and sports. Like, I'm no fan of the Lakers, but if you're into like historic franchises, go see the Lakers, go see the Dodgers, go see the LA Kings in the same stadium later on that day. Shoot down over to Disneyland. Like, everything's pretty much an arm's distance Go down to SeaWorld even further south. Like, there's a lot to do there. It is a very amazing area, but it's been run by Democrats for too long that it's now this dystopian nightmare. It's Elysium. Yeah, Big Bear. Go snowboarding right after. We weren't going to make it to Big Bear. We were going to go over to Mountain High because it's a little bit closer. Big Bear would have been kind of a commitment. And then after that long day, you'd probably need to get a cabin. And I was like, nah, too much. Like Rocket Power. Yeah, it's not Hawaii, but it was like Rocket Power. We could do whatever we wanted as long as we woke up early enough. Go next door to Vegas or Reno, but that's not you know, the tourism-friendly thing. It's like, that's another state. Florida's 1,000 times better. I'm not big on... I like the ocean. I like the beach. I have a friend that went to Texas, and I was like, I know that Texas has beaches, but are any of them like Santa Monica, like San Diego, like La Jolla area? And he's like, no, Texas beaches are not California beaches. I've heard Florida beach is somewhat similar, but still not the same thing. You said Corpus Christi is like California beaches? Or someone saying no? Yeah, Texas beaches aren't great, yeah. That's what I've heard. Florida's way safer. It is safer, but it's also like, I got family here and everything. There's no waves, and that's the thing. It's like, I'm sure you can, yeah, sandbars. That would be different. Like, I would like to skimboard and even go like a boogie board out there. Not the same thing. If I'm ever rich enough, I'll be like Shohei Ohtani, and I'll just get myself a property over in Maui, and I'll just retire over there. You don't have rocks. Rocks are cliffs and are nice. Okay. South Padre Island's a hot spot. Okay, I mean, I kind of... Yeah, Northern California beaches aren't fun. I'm thinking of more like Southern California. But it's, what is it, Skimboarding was popular? Yeah, okay. Hopefully Oprah doesn't burn. No, they already got the land. They already got the land in Lahaina they want. I'm conspiracy theory guy. It was a land grab to me. Come to your lake, it's 118 today. I mean, I was in an area yesterday, so hot, and it's like, when I lived over in LA, it was so nice because it's like, I've lived in hot climates. LA, it's like you still get that beach weather, so it's like, yeah, a hot day is 80 degrees, but then getting back to a place that it's like, oh, it's 110 is just miserable. But we gotta talk about ICE. So ever since USAID funding has since dried up, there's still anti-ICE sentiments, but it's not the same as like entire cities burning down, but they're still equally as ridiculous.
What happened? She's under arrest. For what? She's a criminal alien. For what?
Again, and there's no other instances where you'd see somebody getting arrested and the police have to provide warrants to strangers. But since the Democrats have beamed in their head and like just beat them down with this talking point of they're being kidnapped and we need to know what they were doing, has them all of a sudden thinking a good Samaritan gets to see the warrant, not the adult actually being arrested.
And she's been convicted of crimes.
For what? What crime? What crime? What crime?
You don't get to know.
What crime?
She's been convicted of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. She's not allowed to be here, and she's been.
And he doesn't even need to do all this.
She doesn't have no.
He doesn't need to do this because it's just antagonizing him, and just already know. Maybe he has experience in this, has helped him with an arrest. But the idea is, nothing's going to satisfy the guy recording. He's just emotional and trying to get his little moment. Like, I was helping the little guy, and I was stopping ICE. I'm a good person. Good little liberal. I believe all my liberal talking points in my programming. You're not getting through to his head. Might as well just ignore him. And if he gets involved, then he gets detained too.
Oh, she has it? Aggravated assault? No, this is not correct.
She's an angel. Obviously, she would never commit a crime ever, so let her go because I know more about this than you. I have a camera, and I listen to Reddit. Obviously, I'm more qualified than you with a badge and a piece.
I have her whole rap sheet. I've been following her forever. Go.
Forever? No, you lying. Come on. This is not true.
What are you gonna do?
Like,
What are you
you
gonna
post a rap sheet on your phone? I'll post a rap sheet for you.
Come on, let me see. No, let me see the evidence. No, let me see the
And
evidence.
you give him the evidence, he's still gonna be fighting you. So no, this is useless.
If you don't
No, let
back
me see
up.
the evidence.
Back up.
Let me see the evidence. Let me see the evidence.
Back up. Back
What
up.
else?
Yeah, this is
Let me
where
see
it should have been in the
I
first
said
Let me
place.
see.
I said
Bro,
And so he got all the ground he was allowed to get. He was all willing to press up on him and fight him, but as soon as he got a little bit physical with him, he started folding immediately.
you hit me, bro.
I said back.
Why'd you hit me?
Why'd you hit me? Why'd you hit me? And then see, as soon as he turns his back, he's running up. He's like a tiny yapping dog. You can't play games with these people. There's no satisfying them. And this is in Texas? Yeah. The brainwash people, but it gets worse. It gets worse. This is, what is it? Logan Heights in San Diego. Following around ICE agents all day.
Don't do that.
And even, so here's the thing. This is like good, where...
Don't do that.
Boy, there's a lot to unpack here. We're not going to make comments on the large beverage in the car. But we are going to make comments on the idea that her rear view, her side view mirror is put together by duct tape and hope. But also, inside her car has a sticker saying F ICE. This has become your entire identity, meaning to say that USAID and probably Chinese operatives got to just completely mold your personality and how you spend your entire day, putting your own life at risk. You might be the next good, you might be the next Pretty. You've seen it happen. These aren't agents playing patty cake with people playing fugitive. They're going after actual violent criminals. You're getting in the way, you're aiding and abetting, you just don't know it yet, but this has become your, this is your play. You don't have real stuff to do, so you're over here making trouble with your, take care of your car, take care, what is it, the old school Jordan Peterson stuff? Don't try to give the world advice if your bedroom's a mess. Fix your life first, and then maybe you can start dictating how we enforce our borders in America. Yeah, the people are wearing diapers to stalk the police, which is... It sounds like you're just trying to make fun of them, but they legitimately were doing this.
ICE is here, you guys. ICE is here in front of the school. Don't be doing that shit.
Oh, in front of a school, because criminals have never done anything dangerous in a school. This is their mentality. They're outside of school, so therefore, bad?
Shit. Go around. Right here in Logan Heights, you guys, on Harrison. Sicard Street in Harrison.
They're just stalking them.
Gray Expedition Ford. Invalid license plate, you guys, undercover.
How would you know? And then the thing is, how do you know that's not local authorities? Like the one people, it was the, was it called sports drink bar? I don't want to get it mistaken, but there was a bar that they were local state troopers going after PDFs. And the state troopers are like, oh, they're plain clothes. That's ICE. That's ICE. And the guys are like, no, we're arresting this guy because he's a known PDF. We're state troopers. We're not federal agents. And they still tried to interfere in the crime, and then they got blasted. And then I think it was the local AG was like, hey, we may prosecute those people from that bar because they're interfering in an active investigation. It's like they don't know what they're doing, but they've just accepted their programming so well they're willing to go out there in the streets and at best ruin their life, and at worst lose their life. And it's pretty sad.
Be safe. This is an undercover. Let's ask.
And his thing is, even if you catch up to him, like, what is it, the Joker? I'm like a dog chasing a car. Even if I caught up to it, I wouldn't know what to do. If they saw what they deem a kidnapping, they see an ICE agent arresting a family, what are they going to do? Are they really going to lose their life? Like, what is the best case scenario for them other than getting some social media footage? There's nothing. If they really cared about their community, they'd be learning how to become an immigration attorney. They'd be volunteering and giving them services, not whatever this is.
Excuse me, sir. What agency are you with?
You don't get that information.
Sir?
You don't understand how anything works.
Hello, what agency are you with? Hello, what agency are you with? Taking a photo of me? I don't give a fuck. Bitch, take a photo. I don't give a fuck. What agency are you with? Don't use your car as a weapon. I'm in the road. What are you doing? Don't do that. Don't do
I'm gonna break the rules, but I expect you to break the rules because I hold you at a higher standard than me because obviously they have no standards.
that.
Oh yeah, it's it.
ICE is here, you guys. ICE is here in front of the school. Don't be doing that shit. Go around.
Go around? What?
Hello?
You boxing?
Fucking Nazi piece of shit. Stay the fuck out of our neighborhood.
Because the Nazis were so known to round people up and put them on airplanes and take them home. Because first, before did you guys know, in fact, according to this guy, before the Nazis, gathered people up and did horrendous things to them, they first offered them $3,000 gift cards and plane tickets home for their family and to give them time to make arrangements. That's what the Nazis did. According to this guy, that's the equivalency. Because it's sad where whenever you claim that ICE agents are Nazis, you are, is it more denigrating? You're making a mockery of what actual Nazis are, were, and what they did. But for some reason, you think it makes your point have more validity that you're willing to disrespect what actually happened.
Bitch! ICE is here, you guys, on 28th Street.
Who's he yelling
Yes,
at?
that's ICE.
Nobody cares. People are living their
ICE is here,
life.
you guys.
People have jobs and have stuff to do. They don't got unlimited free time. And here's the thing: is where this individual is, if they receive any sort of welfare benefits, like anything, the U.S. taxpayer cannot be on the hook to subsidize this behavior. You immediately eliminate whatever benefits they get. Maybe they're an attorney and they have a good job and whatever. We're not paying them for anything. Cool. Not cool. You don't get to spend your time harassing law enforcement. But just the idea that I would guess that this person's getting social benefits, they're getting welfare, you cut that off so they have to go back to work and actually provide to society as opposed to just become the militant arm that is bots from Reddit.
28th Street in Harrison. He just tried to hit me with his fucking car. La migra están aquí. La migra!
Is he laying on the horn following him? You gotta arrest this guy. You're interfering in law enforcement. And here's the thing: that's one thing I always despise is working in security places. I could be like at like a Target. I've never worked at Target before. At a Target, and somebody like runs up on me. Is like, I know you work here. I know you're security. Like, stop following me. I was like, bitch, I don't work here. Like, what the fuck you talking? Like, that's a dangerous thing where someone says, I'm gonna commit illegal activity, so I'm gonna accuse everybody of being law enforcement here, like a extension of it. You don't know if this guy in front of you is an ICE agent, or he's a gangbanger, or he's just a dangerous individual. How do you know this person's not gonna turn around and light you up because they're not an ICE agent? This is a dangerous thing to do. I think somebody gifted 100 subs over on Kick. Thanks. Oh, that's Bonkius or Bonchius again. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. That's a crazy amount of money, so I appreciate that.
Fucking Nazi ass bitch!
Is he on the wrong side of the... What are you gonna do? What do you, other than... It's sad to say, I almost wonder if this person's not a, like, I'm trying to be self-ended by a police officer. Like, that's what they want to be martyred. They don't have anything other to provide. There's nothing they're looking forward to in life. They're not being fulfilled otherwise. And this is all they have to offer. I was fighting for the little guy, and then the evil fascists ended me. Because this is... you don't want the cop to turn around and do something, but if you're running on the wrong side of the road, you've been stalking them for over 30 minutes, what do they expect you to be doing? Yeah, but again, gets even worse. I wonder if this is the same guy. No, this has to be the same guy. I didn't even realize. Same font, same thing.
You guys, I'm live from Linda Vista with the fruit vendor where I just bought him out because his safety is #1 right now.
I think this is the same
guy. As you
guy.
guys know, ICE was just active here in Linda Vista, and so helping out the street vendors in your area, helping vulnerable people.
And the sad part is, okay, yeah, you might be correct in the street vendor is an illegal, but also, why do you assume the street vendor is illegal? He could have right to work here. He just does street vending instead of getting a job. Wasn't hireable. Like, you think that you just see a brown guy selling watermelon and selling corn, and you think, I know you're an illegal. So who's the bigot here? You might be correct, but it's awfully presumptuous of you to say, I need to give you money because obviously you're breaking the law, right?
is going to be the next step that you can take right now as we speak. So get down here, you guys, grab some free fruit and support your local vendors in the area.
These people need to be arrested. I don't know.
Wall Street is like, but again, this guy thinks he's like a social justice warrior, but nothing worse than what is the leftovers from all these anti-ICE protests. Like they say, 52 people arrested by ICE in Sonoma County. This is like daycare for boomers is protesting ICE now.
2025 until July 13th of 2026.
So you have all these old white people laying down with chalk outlines on their body, and this person probably has some bad joints. Don't blame him. He's laying on like a little sleeping bag. But they got pictures. Looks like a memorial and loving memory of people that have since lost their lives. Now I wonder if they did this when Obama was president and Obama had lost all those people in ICE custody. And I wonder if they know anything in regards to the criminal histories of some of these people that have lost their lives. Some of them might be completely innocent, but I'm willing to bet some of them have committed heinous crimes and that's why they're being deported. Does that change that for them? To say, hey, if you were a PDF or you're a murderer back home and that's why you were being deported, I still want to represent you? Or is it just, like, do they care?
52 people have been arrested by ICE in Sonoma County.
Okay.
Some of them were on their way to work.
Did you guys know if you commit a crime, if you go to work, this is the safe zone. This is your safe spot. You can't be arrested on the way to work. I didn't know that, guys.
Outside their homes, just leaving the jail.
She's in the Peter Griffin. She's in the Peter Griffin pain pose.
Or at their immigration appointments.
At your immigration, that's how it should happen. You lose your immigration case, you get deported. It's never been a case where it's like you lose your murder trial, you lose your DUI case, and they say, okay, we found you guilty. See you when we see you. No, we book you in jail. You're at your immigration case, you lose, you go to jail. They have a fundamental, which goes to show, not that they have a fundamental misunderstanding of how the law works. They just don't want the law to be enforced because something, likely China, told them, this is bad, guys. It's okay when other countries enforce their border laws. Mexico is so amazing that they just throw babies and strollers in the back of unmarked cars when they're deporting them, but America, it's bad.
We do know that the jail does not provide information about the Rapid Response Network.
But why? Why would they? What other facet of our law enforcement system, when someone's being booked, instantaneously has information about them? They got to go through the system first. And again, didn't use due process on the way in. Probably not going to get the same due process on the way out as somebody that came in and overstayed their visa or something.
To any of the people in jail or their families.
All old people napping. This is resistance in 2026. 2025, it was people coming from other countries, throwing bricks through cop cars' walls, setting fires to the, what are those Jaguars? The Waymo vehicles. They were throwing burning scooters at CHP officers from an overpass. Full-on riots and invasion war. 2025. 2026, old guys napping. Like they could be doing this in the retirement home. What?
Family members. We do know though, through Yalero, that there have been 21 arrests by ICE related to the jail providing information between January and June of this year.
Yes, arrests occur. What point are they making?
Shame.
Shame?
Sharing has to stop.
Laws exist. Shame.
The killings have to stop. We won't tolerate.
Okay. And here's the thing: there's been a lot of killings regarding newcomers, undocumenteds, and U.S. citizens. Would she ever lift a finger for a Laken Riley? Does she even know the names of the people? Does she care, or does she only care when, like, a Chinese-run social media algorithm says, "Now you're angry"?
Here in Sonoma County.
Yeah, it's all bad. They keep on doing this, but at least now, it's not destroying my city. These people, they're messing with ICE agents. You don't want that. But I was really upset when it's like you're paying top-tier tax dollars for a place like Los Angeles, and then later on, It gets destroyed by people that don't live in the country, don't live in the area, and are all suspiciously here once a certain nefarious NGO comes around and says, here's a lot of money to destroy Los Angeles. Aren't we doing the right thing now? Kind of scary times. Slumber party, exactly. Yeah, let's forget how many people are killed during the illegal trips. How much this benefits the cartel. And not even something like, okay, you think about Lowe talking about the R gangs. Let's not even talk about something that is harder to confirm. Let's just talk about what happened in New York City. You had all these people getting into Texas. So Florida, Ron DeSantis helps Texas ship a whole bunch of them over to New York City. Eric Adams says, we're a sanctuary city, but this is going to destroy the city. You had the Roosevelt Hotel, which is oddly owned by the Pakistani government, so millions of US tax dollars go directly to the Pakistani government to house illegals in there. Then suddenly, around the Roosevelt Hotel, you saw a lot of undocumented women selling their bodies on the streets. They've been trafficked in, now they're selling their bodies. Then a ghoulish Democrat goes on television to tell the people, saying, but this is survival work. Like, we don't want to throw them in jail. We don't want to punish them for what they're doing. They're just trying to survive. It's like, you mean to say the open border policy that's supposed to be so beneficial and we need to provide them asylum from whatever terrible things are happening over there. We promise them pocket money, cash cards, free housing at the Roosevelt Hotel. Well, not Roosevelt Hotel. We provide them free housing, the ability to vote later on, work permits, and the only thing you provided them is somebody was nefariously telling them that they need to sell themselves on the streets of New York City. And you're saying, this is a good thing now. They can't live in Martha's Vineyard. We'll deport them overnight. But this is survival work. It's perfectly fine. No group of elderly retirees are ever going to lay in the street saying, we're here for the victims that got turned to selling themselves on the street. They became S-workers. They got promised a new life and asylum from terrible things back home. But somebody, possibly cartels, who knows, was selling them out there. They don't care because they don't know, because sad to say, like we said before, no Chinese run social media algorithm was telling them to be outraged about that. Me talking about that makes me alt-right and scary. Are you guys hating Troubadours, Metamucil, Avengers? Guys, there's gonna be a time, you're probably younger. Metamucil's life-changing, man. Once you get older, man, don't hate on Metamucil, man. You even have the orange drink thing. I mean, it's real, guys. It's real. Like my father put me on it, and I wasn't about it. And then later on, it was like, okay, guys, now we're cooking here. This is chill. This is chill. Now, I did want to talk about the Odyssey, but then again, real quick, I want to talk. Viper's not a psyop, guys. I can promise you. Does good, but gotta talk real quick. I'm behind on this, but all the stuff about I really want to know your opinions on this over here. It's Asmund Gold and his girlfriend. I don't want to get too deep in the drama, but then again, she's getting crazy backlash, so we do gotta talk about that.
She wants me to clean up the house. She want me to clean up the house. Yeah. She said it's contaminated. And it begins. No, that's number one.
Well, nothing wrong with getting a girlfriend or having a lady friend, and you clean up your apartment or your house more than it would normally. He needs her. It's one of those things where it's like, maybe it just isn't a thing. I feel like most everybody here, you have a date over and you haven't had like anybody at your place for a long time, you clean up. Like they say, a girl can tell if a guy really likes them is if they get to their bathroom and behind the toilet where they have those like bolts that keep the toilet in, if that's been wiped down recently, you can tell he's trying to impress you. This is something like sometimes guys, especially guys that live with other guys, you have roommates, you're in college, we sometimes need to be civilized. And I don't see this as a bad thing. Some people saying like, oh my god, like she's changing him. It's like, no. Guys don't mind living in filth. Sometimes it's good to be civilized. Because here's the thing, is you would want to clean up for your mother doesn't mean that she's a bad influence on you. The toilet-based test. Yes.
She said she wanted me to shower more, and I think there was like one other one I forgot.
All good things. Shower more. Good for your health. If you're just living by yourself, I think he even said something about like not brushing his teeth all the time because it's like, well, it's just me. Maybe it's somebody else I'm thinking about, but it's like, no, it's good to be balanced out like that.
I forgot. She gave me a big list of things that she wanted me to do. I forgot what the other ones were though. Her boyfriend. There it is. It's always the same, isn't it? Demanding, yeah, to go to the gym. I don't think that was one of them. Israel's trying to compromise you. Why not buy a second house? I will consider. I don't know. Like, there was a house.
Gotta be honest. Didn't know much about Asmongold when he started covering my videos, and I started watching him and like learning about the live stream game, learning about like people in his crew, and just trying to immerse myself into it. I was absolutely certain. Somebody told me it's not true. I was absolutely certain. I was like, oh, they call him the Roach King. I didn't know him well. I'm like, dude, he lives there with his parents. He streams there to keep it real. But this guy's got a Maserati. He's got a Bugatti. He probably has a mansion. He records at his parents' attic like a job and goes to his mansion afterwards. There's no way he lives like that. They're like, no. People that know him, they say he keeps it real. That's his real lifestyle. So the idea that he would want to not necessarily upgrade. This is the house that he grew up in, so I get the sentimentality of it. But just the idea that this isn't a bad thing.
I was gonna buy. I ended up not buying it though. I might do it. And that's it. So brush your hair. She did say she wanted me to cut my hair shorter, but not like super short. She said like when I played Final Fantasy 14. That was the frame of reference that she used. So yeah. Now I don't know really. Like I'm willing to. I told her I'd be willing to cut it a little bit, right? Like, but I don't.
A good compromise. It's not like change these things. Well, I'm not gonna see you anymore. I think there can be a lot of stuff can be like playful jabbing. That's okay. But the crazy part about this is, I guess she's Korean, she's Chinese or whatever. But people have been saying, and we get this a lot, is someone messaged her. I guess her name is Kaise or Kais. Someone said, as a member of the Asian race, you are no longer considered Asian. You may consider yourself as a yellow person from now on. Good day to you. And she said, damn, okay, I guess I'm officially a yellow person. She's Chinese. So here's the thing is, you say it's another Fang Fang. Now, previously, I'd be like, no, dude, no, there's no way. No, now in this position, I 1,000,000% believe there will be Chinese operatives that will look like this. So in Korea, they call them Samsung girls, where it's like there's a standard of beauty that they have over there, and they all get the same double eyelid surgery, the same nose job, the same jaw shaving down, the same breast augmentation, very, very like a light milky skin, the same haircut that's like trendy or whatever. They'll get whatever the Chinese equivalent of a Samsung girl is, and they will go out after like media influencers, especially in the political space. They will go after guys in Congress. They'll be in areas where they know that there is like weapons manufacturers, military bases. They'll put them there, and they will even have families with the people. Like they have top secret clearance. They're really high up in a tech company. They will even have families with them just to find secrets or just to get something on them. Not saying this person is that, but it's not outlandish for this to occur. It sounds crazy, but it's real. Like I think it was like a article in maybe it was like Wired magazine about the operatives that actually have families with tech bros. It's crazy, but we're getting distracted now. The fact is that Asians will hate on you for not being a part of their hive mind. I hate it because it happens a lot. But the funny part is she's reacting to what is it Hassan and that guy that was on that show on Hulu, reacting to her for being with Asmongold. It's kind of sad. Like everybody's gonna hate on you because here's the thing: is like it wouldn't be outlandish to have a regular looking white guy with like a smoke show Asian girl go to any coastal area in California. This is almost like the default relationship you see. Like what is it? The takeover of Wasians is like it's because this exact format. This is not something that's out of the ordinary.
How did this happen? He looks like shit, right? He probably gets no fucking pussy, asthma.
And the whole thing, whenever somebody says, oh, you don't get girls, projection every single time. Nobody I know that has, I don't want to say, oh, they got a roster, but it's like nobody I know that's successful with girls, very comfortable with women, ever talks to another guy. You won't get no girls. You don't get. It's always the guys that are at the cusp of it. They're not getting as much as they want. So then it becomes so embedded in their identity. They're always projecting it to other people. It's sad.
Gold, whatever the fuck his name is.
I don't know, man. There's clout. He's got clout.
Do girls suck? Is disgusting.
I have no idea, but I don't.
Is that what even?
And again, why are you even talking about? God damn it! I hate the internet.
What does he do with his fucking?
Today we remember George Floyd, who was murdered by a former Minneapolis police officer 6 years ago. That moment.
Why is he?
Even Hassan doesn't want to talk about the girls' drama and the whole thing. He's over it. He knows he can't win.
Weighing in. He's some fucking idiot. What did he stream?
Because Elon boosted the fuck out of this shit.
But what did he stream? How did he get famous?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't, because he's a legacy guy. First to market always wins, and he was like the original like World of Warcraft streamer, at least to my understanding.
Warcraft.
Oh yeah. My God.
Yeah, no.
A fucking World of Warcraft guy?
Yeah.
People listening to that fucking guy can't.
I've never heard this girl talk before. What is happening? Oh my God.
Like, are you serious? You're the one to talk.
Oh no.
I don't think I need to say more. I don't need to say more.
She saw that projection from a mile away. This reminds me of whenever someone gives you a hate comment on Twitter and the ultimate own, and I don't like to do this, but the ultimate own is just to post their profile pic as a reply. It's like, you lost your bubble, guy.
Okay, like literally fat people's opinion don't matter, so this is absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, I'll be nice now. No more commentary. I don't even know who that is. Literally never seen him in my life. Yeah, the crazy thing is people, I don't know. I mean, okay, like he talks about not showering a lot. Like people have this crazy assumption that he smells like absolute shit. I've smelled way worse from people that actually shower. Like he genuinely doesn't smell like anything. Like maybe he smells old, like because it just smells like an old house, but like it's not like he really doesn't smell like anything. I don't know.
Oh no.
I don't know. Yeah, are you cute effortlessly, or does it take? It takes effort, man. It does. Anyone that says like, oh, like anyone that comments on how Asmund look, like, oh, how does he get her? Like, he's so.
But are they actually dating? Because I don't know. I remember, I thought him and the other Asian girl were dating, but I guess she's, I don't know. Don't want to get too far in this drama. I want to be from the outside looking in, but it's like, just, you always see that, like, it's only the guys that have no like regular female friends or don't have successful women that think, oh, you are interacting with girls, so you guys must be together. Like when I was on that I did the show briefly with the Mally Mouse person. You get all the comments like, oh, you guys are like, oh, you're seeing each other. This is like a date. It's like, no. Have you never had like a coworker before? Like you don't understand that guys and girls can interact with each other without it being a thing? Like have you ever seen them on a date or kiss or anything? Maybe they're just collaborating the same way that, you know, what is it? The Hassan and that heavier set dude are together on a stream. If they're going to see them on a stream together and say, oh, obviously they're hooking up, means to say that, one, you don't think guys and girls can coexist in the same space without that because you're so desperate and you never get it, that every single time a girl gives you a small inkling of attention, you think, oh, we're definitely going to be a relationship. It's like, no, it's just because you don't know how to coexist doesn't mean that other people don't. But the idea is, it's all speculation.
No, he actually mogs me. This man wake up, open his eyes, and he's ready to go out, okay? I need to take like at least 2 hours, hair, makeup, everything.
Jesus!
Can't do that. Wish I could. Yeah, mogged. Absolutely.
But you know what though? That would actually kind of be a superpower, I think, as like, I wouldn't say I'm the biggest internet personality, but enough where I get recognized pretty commonly in the street. That would be pretty cool to have like a persona on the internet where it's like, yeah, you look all dolled up and this is what people know you as. But I'm almost certain if she didn't put on makeup and all the like did all the stuff, she could probably go to the grocery store, go to the shopping mall, go to like a sports ball game without it, and nobody would ever know that was her. There's really nothing Asmongold can do as like, I think he's like a 6'3", very, very skinny guy with a giant hair and a beard or whatever. It's like you'd see him from a mile away. That's kind of cool that you could have like almost like a altered ego when you're going out there. But I think it's funny. Asmongold loves the idea that people are talking about it.
Wow. So these pictures and these clips here are so popular, it's insane, man. Oh my god. Like, I did a 3-hour stream and I feel like people have been talking about it all day. Like, I need to just do more of those. I need to stop doing, like, this is the thing, is like, I probably should do more stuff with other people and not just do my own stream, because like...
And the sad part is, like I said before, when I first discovered he was covering my stuff, I watched the, it was him, Tectone, and Amiru, Steak and Eggs podcast. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, they went to IKEA together, they were shopping for a mattress. It was cool to kind of get to know him better. Then he was out there on the little podcast thing talking about Lord of the Rings. I never really watched it. It was cool to watch it, and then later on I discovered that podcast had since been canceled because of whatever behind the scenes stuff. I don't know. But that was cool to see him collaborate with people other than just, you know, this has to be exhausting. Maybe I'm just projecting of being in a room by yourself, reacting to the internet constantly isn't the most, stimulating thing, but it's like, what do you call it? That would be good to see him do more collaborations.
Like, whenever I do anything with anybody, there are like 1,000 clips of it, man. There really are. Like, people go fucking crazy over it. And imagine risking a roach infestation of farm.
Okay, you know, this is a natural thing that people want to see who you get paired up with relationship-wise, because, you know, gossip is just what makes the world go round. But also, whenever you look up a celebrity, like who was I looking up? Eric Lauer or whatever. He's the Dodger player. They think they might trade him for Scooball. But it's always like, you type in any celebrity name, Keanu Reeves, not Leonardo DiCaprio, Eric Lauer, whatever. The autofill in Google is always first name, last name, wife. First name, last name, girlfriend. Everybody wants to know who you've paired up with. It's just kind of a, you know, you can't juke the Google autofill guesses because it's just based on analytics and commonly searched terms. People are just obsessed with that stuff. Yeah, net worth, but honestly, it's always wife, height, girlfriend.
I'm the most racist and misogynist incels on the internet. The thing is that, you know what I think is really funny about this is that none of my viewers are like, besides making jokes about like, oh wow, it's like you know, a CCP thing, right? Nobody's saying anything that's weird. It's all of the people that disagree with me that are saying things that are weird.
Yeah, it's never gonna be the people that love you that go on like racist rants about you. It's always the progressive, very, very love everybody party. They very, very quickly remove their mask. It's just like with the thing with the original with her, where it's like, oh yeah, you know what? Just because you're involved with someone that could be considered right-wing, we're now going to be racist against you.
It's them every single time. Yes. And I think it's really funny that, like, after all this time, that's the reason, right? I have bad hair days on days that end on Y. So if the day ends on Y, I'm having a bad hair day. So anyway...
And honestly, the sad thing is, though, I think a lot of this is... We've all known the guy that has a hard time dating, has a hard time getting girls' attention, so has a hard time maintaining someone's attraction. They can even like him in the beginning, and then all of a sudden they get to know him and they're like repulsed by him. They will always blame something like, I know the guy, he doesn't have like a six-pack, or he's not 6 feet tall or whatever. Always has these things that just like, she's mean because she doesn't like, I'm not the ideal man, I'm not a Chad or whatever. Oh, that's why I can't get a girl. Nothing burns them up more than seeing a person that is physically less than, maybe worse hair, maybe less musculature or whatever, and they see them with the girl that they wish they could be with. And once that kind of shatters their worldview. It's not because I'm not 6'5". It's not because I'm not ripped with a Baywatch body. That guy got the girl and she seems to like him well. It must be me. It must be inherent. It must be my personality. Something that I can fix, and it wrecks their brain so much, they revert to racism. They revert to whatever hatred they have towards anybody, and they just can't mask it anymore.
So if the day ends on Y, I'm having a bad hair day. So anyway, and this is crazy, bro. Like, it's actually crazy. Wow. Every single person making these weird comments.
Yes, exactly.
I never want to hear about how I'm racist ever again in my life.
Yes.
I never want to hear it again. People liked it, I am. And so yeah, no, it is funny for me. Again, like, I'm not really the kind of guy to go around and like you really make a lot of content and like, you know,
I say Asmon's been forming the drama. That's one thing that I never got onto is I'll do a video about a topic, and I've done my video on the topic. Most streamers, I guess, they form it like, oh, that topic did good. Let me do 7 subsequent videos about it. I think even Asmongold talked about Tectone doing like 8 videos on him and this Kaisei girl, how they're dating. He's like, yeah, he's forming me. Sometimes you're the former, and sometimes you're the formee, or you're the onion or whatever. Like, apparently that's just what the world goes around. More updates, more this, and I'm like, I need to get on that.
I think like bragging about like. I've always said that bragging and like trying to like hold it over people that like you know have like you like get attention from like a girl or something like that. That's what you do in middle school, right?
Yes. But we never really get out of middle school. What's the first thing that happens when you go to high school? Oh my God, it's like middle school again. What's the first thing that happens when you go to college? Man, everybody here is like middle school. What's the first thing what happens when you get like a part-time job? Everybody gossips like high school. Then you go to the office. Oh my God, everybody here clicks up just like high school. We are tribal by nature. We never get out of it. And even in sports ball, you look up Jaylen Brown. Oh, Jaylen Brown. What's the autofill? Girlfriend. Jason Tatum, baby mama. Whatever. It's like you never get away from who's dating who. It's just like in our DNA.
Would do that in middle school. Like even in high school, it's kind of like, okay, dude, right? And then in college, like the only guys that do that are like, you know, the guys that are trying to hook up with like every girl in the college, right? Like everybody else doesn't do that. Kids do that, right? So like I don't really do. I just think it's fun.
But most people live in a perpetual, like, what is it? Arrested development. We're all man children.
Right? And I try to make the content, you know, entertaining, etc. And so that's what matters. But anyway, yeah, and oh my God, saw the male loneliness epidemic is fake. Oh my God, that is crazy. Most inbred looking white guy. It's actually crazy how mad these people are. It is hilarious.
Projection every single time. And it's sad because you can interact with them, you can reply, you can be angry at them, but it's like, why? They're in a miserable existence. He's doing his thing. Just enjoy yourself.
Especially, bro, it already went up. Wait, it literally just went up 200,000 views in like 3 minutes. No, like probably more like 5 minutes.
And it's sad though. I can do a video deep dive. This is what the R Gang report did. You can do a deep dive on. These are the many ways Javier Becerra is a bad candidate for governor in California. 200,000 views. I do a video about Hassan looks stupid in his new suit. 1 million views overnight. I don't want to live my life in that space, but I won't deny myself the ability to find the audience.
It went up 200,000 views in 5 minutes. Oh my God. Oh, that's funny, man. It really is. People losing their fucking mind, huh? And are so bitter, it's crazy. I mean, I don't even really worry about it. I mean, I've interacted with other girls on my stream before. I don't really make a big deal out of it, right? I think it's funny to watch people, you know, like pop off and, you know, go crazy. But in the general sense, like, I don't really worry too much about that or really think about it too much.
Yeah, it's like, seems kind of like a private guy. I wouldn't expect him to be crazy about like putting it out there. But again, I try to keep myself private as possible. Like I put myself out there. You know a lot about me, but like I've said, my general rule of thumb is, and you'll find contradictions in there, and it's not a gotcha. It's just every 5th thing I say about myself has to be a lie. Not necessarily an embellishment, but just a little bit of a mislead to it. Because how easy would it be to dox somebody saying, hey, I played high school soccer in this year. This was a school district I was in, and I'm this age. Where I was like, I played varsity high school soccer. I was in this school district, and I'm this exact age. It wouldn't be that hard for somebody to look up a yearbook and find out my full name and find out my history or whatever. Like, that's why you have to kind of put out a lie every now and then. Not because I'm trying to like pretend I'm something I'm not, or like say, oh, I was a Navy SEAL or something. It's like, but you just throw somebody off the scent. So if they're looking at all the information they have about you, they're never going to figure out who you are. Eventually, somebody nefarious will probably end up doxing me, and it'll be a very sad day for my own security. But I wouldn't be surprised if he has a certain, like, maybe not to the extreme measure I have, but it's a certain level of, like, trying to be private. If I had a wife and kids, a side girlfriend, a side family, and a separate life in another country, nobody would ever know it. Keep it to myself. Thus I have the bat. The bat means nothing. So Asmongold is 6'3" tall and worth at least $65 million. It ain't wild that he bags an Asian girl, roaches or not. I mean, that's the thing, is like, people see the disparity of like hot girl and what would be like default guy, like a not as attractive guy. It happens all the time. There's like attractive disparity relationships everywhere. The only people that are surprised to see that are the ones that, sad to say, don't have game. Some people just think if she's model tier attractive, she's only going to be into model tier guys, not knowing personality means a lot, confidence means a lot, and not oftentimes, but a lot of the no. There's a certain percentage of girls out there that have had very, very bad experiences with what would be saying traditionally attractive men, beautiful men, and they almost avoid them because they know what goes along with it. They'd rather be happy with somebody compatibly, personality-wise or hobby-wise or whatever it may be. But the only people that don't believe it, oh, she's got to be a gold digger, she's into this or that. It's like, just because you've never experienced it, you've never been with somebody out of your league, doesn't mean that it doesn't happen, and you're only just self-snitching on yourself. Of course, yeah, he's going to be different off stream. Check out Bill Belichick's girlfriend. He's 6'76", and he has a young girl, 40 years younger. Yeah, I don't, that's a sus scenario. Because at least, like, I think, what is it? Asmongold's probably like 35 years old, and I'm guessing that girl's like in her mid-20s. That wouldn't be outlandish. Like, what's that old adage? The appropriate dating age is your age divided by 2 plus 7. And that's been a thing since like the Middle Ages. It still seems like that's the appropriate dating scenario for him. Being 76 with a girl that's in her 20s, you have kids, and it's almost like there's gonna be some issues. Yeah, she's 26, 28, it makes total sense. But again, while we're talking about dating and relationship and stuff like that, very quickly am I gonna take my shirt off, grow out my whole beard, shave my head, have a cigar, get my like a snake tattoo on, and I'll wear sunglasses and we'll just talk about red pill shit on this podcast. We don't want to do that. For men, right? I mean, yeah, that's the men thing. I think it's just what's inappropriate for you to date, because it's like, it's one thing if you're like, what are they trying to avoid? Like a 25-year-old dating a 20-year-old is appropriate the same way a 40-year-old dating a 30-year-old is appropriate. That's a 10-year difference versus a 5-year difference, but as you get older, age becomes a little bit less relevant because, you know, men and women mature at different times. Not gonna lie, you have that stereotypical cartel member build. What are you talking about? I'm like a goon that's like in the background of like the video, the movie when like the cartel boss gets off the airplane and I'm just standing there. I don't know what that is. Korean mafia? I don't even know if there's a Korean mafia. I know they have like organized crime, but like not like a Yakuza Asmongold, he said Asmongold's popular because he's the same every day. The same comfort in knowing he has the same personality every day is OT and his OT. I don't know. It was online probably, but I would say is he's genuine, but also has based opinions, and I think a lot of people feel comfortable in like hearing about something through the lens of him, with like a genuine level of skepticism on stuff, to know that he's not trying to push an agenda. He's a regular guy. He's not afraid of being called a racist or like a right winger. He's just, if you were into World of Warcraft in high school and he was your buddy, like your older brother or something, this is the same vibe. We no longer the way that, like, you know, growing up with an N64, all the multiplayer games, playing GoldenEye, Mario Kart, you were there with a group of people. Now everything's online gaming, so I was like playing Modern Warfare with my my buddy online. We no longer get that side-by-side kind of just bro time anymore, and you do experience that through watching Asmongold streams. I see it all the time in K-dramas your wife makes you watch. I think the biggest palate cleanser is, there was that one show that I actually enjoyed for a while. It was it's such garbage television, but this is what I actually like in my free time, is watching I was watching a show called F-Boy Island on HBO. The most raunchy, rancid dating show ever. It's like disgusting. Watch that. And then watch like a Korean drama or not Korean drama, like a Korean reality dating show. And it's like the girl in F-Boy Island will hook up with like 5 dudes on the season. And then the worst a girl will do on the Korean Singles Inferno is they'll maybe like lock pinkies with each other. And that's scandalous. It's bad. But, let me see. Singles Inferno. F-Boy Island's funny because it has what's her name? Who's this? The host of it? She's a blonde stand-up comedian. Nikki Glacier, whatever. If you can, see her live. See her stand-up. Her stand-up's phenomenal as well. But yeah, it's a terrible show. Don't watch the later seasons. They like cut their budget or something. It wasn't as good later on. But watch an episode of F-Boy Island, then watch Singles Inferno. It's like we live in 2 different planets, man. So super chats on YouTube is Dude Few says Jesus loves you. Appreciate that. Chicago says Gen Z on drugs. Of course they look older. I mean, look at any old footage of like kids in the 60s. Like I think I saw grad night at Disneyland for like high school students in the 60s. They're wearing suits and they all look like 40-year-old people. Like, honestly, I think whatever happened to millennials, we just look younger. I don't know. Bonchius with a super huge super chat saying, this is entirely caused by identity politics. People label others for the sake of judging them. Identity politics needs to disappear. No more guilt by association. Yeah, I think the shaming, guilting you by association is starting to die off, where if you call me a MAGA conservative, maybe in 2016, that would be offensive. Like, oh, is he racist? Is he white supremacist? What is this? If you call someone MAGA or far right, now it just bounces off. It's like, your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. When Sakurai says, this happened in Persia when the Persian feminists against a lion flag supported the Islamic Revolution. They didn't get to enjoy utopia for long. And it's sad because I'm all for letting the Democrats vote for whatever they want. If they want to change the Democratic values from progressive LGBT talking points to Sharia law, by all means, let them vote the way they want to. But I just think they're too misinformed to actually know what they're voting for. Bonchius with another super huge super chat saying, labels exist to instantly sort sincerely complex people into neat little folders in a box of the minds of the people who won't give you the time to prove yourself to not be what they believe. It's a sign of lazy and judgmental person. I think it's a sign of it's a check. It's trying to see if you fit in this. Where is that thing? They're trying to see if you fit in this thing right here, where it's like, hey, are you able to have strengthen your values. Do you think you are correct in spite of everybody disagreeing with you, or are you only able to parse information through the consensus filter? If I call you enough bad words, can I get you to change your life's values, or do you actually believe in what you think and believe in what you say? Too many people are too weak-willed to actually have values, and it's sad. Calm Before the Storm says, keep doing what you're doing, brother. Hold fast. Appreciate that. Dark Arts Jewelry just gave me a diamond. Thank you for that. Stumble Boots, thanks you for the pointing emoji. Wisconsin Aquatic says there's a socialist running for Wisconsin governor. The DSA is infecting the entire Democrat Party, and it's sad because, again, they went from having progressive values for women and the right to choose and LGBT values. Cool. I could be on board with some of them, but they somehow got behind or hijacked by people were literally pushing communism and people literally pushing Islamic law. Vote for who you want, but I don't think a lot of these people are making educated votes. Wolf Yaka Unsman says, good evening, Decoy. Appreciate that. And then Baididi says, something's in the water. That's why. It is crazy to think about how Alex Jones says, the water is making the fish this way. And it's like, okay, pipe down, you insane conspiracy theorist. And then later on, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. What the heck? I'm trying to check my kick thing. Oh my god, stop auto-playing this random guy. It became this thing where it's like, no, Alex Jones might have been right on that thing. So let's see, where is the activity feed? Not follow. So yeah, Bonchius, subscribe, thank you for that on Kick, and gifted 100 subscriptions, which I think is like, what is that? What are the 100 subscriptions on Kick? Is that like $500 you just donated? That's nuts. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. Because you donated like $100 on YouTube and then $500 over here. That's crazy. That's too much, man. I appreciate that. But hanging out is cool. Donut Operator rated with 200 viewers on Kick. I didn't realize he had 200 viewers on Kick. And then he also did the viewers on Twitch. Really appreciate that. Rumble, I think I'm like logged out. Let me see. I don't even have my dashboard. Did anything even happen on Rumble? Yeah, thank you, Bonkias, for all that. Bonkias? Maybe I should learn how to say your name correctly. Let's see. I'll just look at my channel. It is. Can't even see. The chat is like too whatever. Say millennials don't look younger. Millennials look immature and childish and are still children in their 40s. Why are you attacking me specifically, man? See. Okay, cool. What's up, Grimiest King? Say you watch me on YouTube. Good to see that you're over here as well. Actually, I have a lot more viewers on Twitch than normal, but it's because Donut Operator, he watched. Let's see. I don't know how to look at my stuff on Twitch because it's all logged out randomly. Yeah. Alright, so I will see you guys on Monday. Oh, Asmongold's done for the day? Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, so yeah, thanks for hanging out as long as you have. We will do Monday live stream again, and hopefully tomorrow I can knock out a regular video on the Decoy channel. Make sure, if you guys haven't already, just maybe make sure you're still subscribed to Decoy, because I know Decaf Decoy's the one that has like daily videos, and we're really knocking out content all the time. But make sure you're still subscribed to the Decoy channel, and then I know a lot of the stuff doesn't get pushed, especially since a certain thing happened, but if you want to see more concise, lighthearted commentary, make sure you go check that out over there. But thanks for hanging out as long as you have. I will see you guys on Monday.